Okay, we haven't played Skyrim in a little bit, but last we left off, we went a little over on time because we were fighting Anduin, and what I thought was going to be the end of the game, but wasn't quite the end of the game. Most of the people who are like super hardcore Skyrim fans couldn't even really tell me how close I was to the end, because most of them hadn't gotten as far in the main story as I have. We were pretty much pushing the MSQ. It was also super buggy. I had to restart the cutscene immediately before it several times. Yo, what's up?
You truly have the voice of a Dova.
That's me.
Alduin's allies will think twice after this victory.
I'm excited to be playing it for a longer window.
Yes, one of his allies could tell us.
We're Alduin then. Excuse me, Alduin, not Anduin. Anduin's the blonde prince from World of Warcraft.
Convince one of them to betray him.
It's a dragon man.
Perhaps the Hafkasayun, the palace in Whiterun, Dragon's Reach. It was originally built to house a captive Dova. A fine place to trap one of Alduin's allies,
The Jarl of Whiterun might not think so.
Yes, but your Soom is strong. I do not doubt that you can convince him of the need.
Dragon's Reach was built to hold a dragon?
Yes. This was ages ago, you understand. There were more of us then. Before the Bruniki, the Akaviri came and killed all my Zema.
Some of those are
I used to
words.
visit him from time to time, nearly crazed by loneliness and captivity. Tiraz Sivaz. He did not even remember his own name. I do not know how he came to be caught, but the Bronyun, the Jarl, was very proud of his pet, Pak. The Hofkasayun has been known as Dragon's Reach ever since.
I do like that his speaking style is to occasionally say the word in dragon and then correct it into common or English. Yeah. I love you too, Ben.
Which
Can't really
calls
see if you sit
to
there.
you, Dovahkiin? Fus, Faim, or Yol?
I'm a big fan of that Foos.
It is called force in your tongue. But as you
Hi, Ben.
push the
Come on.
world,
It's not Marty, that's
so
Ben.
you
Come on.
No, Cammy, that's Ben.
Come on, you.
Think of the way force may
Close
be
enough.
applied effortlessly. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside.
I think I've actually already talked to
all
Parthenax
in
about
its
all
path.
those shops, so I don't think it gets me anything new.
That
He is explaining
is
what it is.
force. Let its meaning fill you. Sum arc mora. You will push the world harder than it pushes back.
Thanks, Nax.
Sum
Oh wait, no, I actually got
mora.
something for that. Force without effort added. Alright, well, that's cool. Let's go. Hey! Thank you, Darkstar.
You're super awesome.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
There we go. Talk to the Jarl. I saw some hearty debates about it. There was some Reddit thread about how Fallout 76 is bad. And people were talking about encumbrance. It seems pretty split down the middle. I think I get in trouble because I come at it from like a
your fancy magic someplace else.
Skyrim's approach to encumbrance is incorrect. But given how split down the middle the public opinion appears to be on it, I think it might just be more of a personal preference. Making it an actual in-game option could be nice. I don't know.
Careful not to torch anything important.
Oh, the debate I saw in the thread was talking about it like went on a tangent talking about Skyrim's encumbrance, not about Fallout 76. How did a dark elf come to be a house?
Balgrup and I share a battle bond. We met as youth and forged our friendship in the fires of war. When he became Jarl, I insisted on serving as his protector.
I didn't clarify. It was in a thread about Fallout 76, but they were talking about Skyrim.
You are curious. Almost dangerously so. I've got my eyes on you.
Uh-huh. Hey man, you gonna be down with this whole plan we have? God, Lydia, you just spooked the shit out of me.
Disrespect the law and you disrespect me.
Yeah, alright. I'm gonna put my hands down.
May the gods watch over your
Just gonna go wake him up. You trap a dragon in your bowels.
I must have misheard you. I thought you asked me to help you trap a dragon in my palace.
You know, I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important.
I'm sorry, but I can't do it. We'll just have to keep fighting the dragons as best we can. What you're asking for is insane. Impossible. You want me to let a dragon into the heart of my city with the threat of war on my doorstep?
Yes.
There must be another way. The risk is too great.
I need to pump up my persuade skill. Threat is worse than you know.
Alduin, the World Eater himself.
He's like a time-traveling dragon. Well, no, we use time traveling with the Elder Scrolls to trap him. So there's like some kind of cool time loop. It's my destiny to stop.
I don't know about such things, but I heard the Greybeard summon you. That's good enough for me. Now what's this nonsense about trapping a dragon in my palace? I want to help you, Dragonborn.
It believes me now.
And I will. But I need your help first. Ulfric and General Tullius are both just waiting for me to make a wrong move. Do you think they will sit idle while the dragon is slaughtering my men and burning my city? No. I can't risk weakening the city while we are under the threat of enemy attack.
Oh, I'm sorry, Yukuba. It's a bummer.
Then I would be glad to help you with your mad dragon trapping.
Is it not bad enough to keep you home, but still annoying cold? Because I feel like those are almost worse.
Gone too deep. Maybe.
Oh, you did take the day off. That's good to hear.
They are respected by all Nords. High Hrothgar is neutral territory. If the Greybeards were willing to host a peace council, then maybe Ulfric and Tullius would have to listen.
Yeah, that's nice. I imagine the office appreciates that too.
Aye, Dragonborn. Maybe you can stop the dragons and this war into the bargain.
Yeah. Whose side are you on?
My men will be ready when you are, Dragonborn. You have a truce to arrange first, eh?
Cool.
Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go back to bed. Oh, this fucking game. Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep. Oh, man. That's goofy. These games are really cool, but it definitely feels like there's all these different systems that were built on top of each other without really thinking too much. Different teams working on the same game. Somebody was in charge of setting the sleeping and waking cycles of all the NPCs. Wouldn't that be cool if you go visit the Jarl at nighttime, he'll be asleep. Nobody was like, maybe we shouldn't have this epic conversation where he's like, I've got a city to protect. Falls back asleep.
Don't suppose you'd enchant my sword. Dull old blade can barely cut butter.
Sure.
Need supplies?
Oh,
See
you didn't really
Bellator
mean
at
it.
his store. Sleazy little
I see how it is.
he has good stuff.
Let me make a manual quick save here and then remind myself of the button. I would say it's F5. Nope. Oh, I probably have to be F5. Okay. Map. Let's go. Talk to the Greybeards. I'm on it. Hi, Hrothgar. Cool offerings. Totally won't rob them. What I would like to do in this game is beat the main story, and then if Knight wants to keep it on his sub-block, just start exploring the world after that.
Odahviing.
Yo, sup? Okay. Oh. You mean to talk to the special Greybeard? If we wouldn't mind people just waking him up. Sure, I can help. Him waking up is fine. I guess the guards letting me in the room is a little weird, but okay. I am important, and he trusts me. I was just cracking up at the voice line where he's like, alright, well, I've got a city to protect. Just lies straight down. That's puzzling. In that tower. The map marker in this game isn't terribly useful. Oh wait, I see a dude, I think. Yo!
Alduin? We heard the Dragonren shout from here. You defeated him?
I mean, sort of.
I feared as much. I thought it was him we saw flying east after your battle. We are not warriors. What is overlooked in the Dragonborn is not permitted to any other followers of the Way of the Voice.
I see. I'm special.
You misunderstand our authority. The
That'd be lunch,
Greybeards
Kevin.
have never involved themselves in political affairs. I see. The dragon will lead you to Alduin, but without the Jarl's help. Paarthurnax has made the decision to help you. This is the road we have to walk. Even the
Despite
Greybeards
sleeping,
must bend
he's serving
to
the
winds
city's
and
needs.
change,
That's fair,
it
Game
seems.
Saucer.
So be it. Tell Ulfric and General Tullius that the Greybeards wish to speak to them. We will see if they still remember us.
Okay, talk to Ulfric, talk to Tullius.
Breath and focus.
I am the city. Right. Do we know anything other than a title for Elder Scrolls 6 right now? Like, do we know what continent it's going to take place on? Make sure I'm looking at the right token. don't think we want to go back out to Skyrim. Our grandchildren will enjoy it. People figured it out based on the teaser. Have they revisited an area at all in any of the main series Elder Scrolls games, or they generally do a new place every time? Also, is the entire continent in Elder Scrolls Online?
The townsfolk call me captain because I used to be a sailor.
One covers the entire continent. It was randomly generated. Sure.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since we've had a good bandit raid.
Algrif won't give us a straight answer.
He's a true Nord. He'll come around.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you...
Is that Colonel Campbell doing a really...
If he's not with us, he's against us.
Gravelly voice?
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Hey, I'm friends with him.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
Let's not.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to feed.
I can just sit here and listen to them. They don't care.
Daughters follow your banner. We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
Pretty sure Galmar is politing.
Men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breath.
Because he doesn't want elves to rule men. He's talking about not wanting the Imperials.
Only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers...
The Stormcloaks are finding victory across the land.
Shut up! I'm listening into this important conversation. Go away. Shoot.
I'm not much of a strategist.
Shut up!
We my council all the same.
Great.
There continues to be unrest in the Grey Quarter.
Blast the Dark Elves. I don't suppose you could tell them that I presently have larger concerns, such as all of Skyrim.
They don't seem to be very sympathetic to our cause.
Oh, he changed conversations when I looked at him.
Of course, my lord.
That's funny.
Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons. Do I know you? Ah, yes. Destined for the chopping block, if I'm not mistaken.
It's me.
A fair point. Well, you've come to the right place then. Speak with Galmar. I'm always looking for able fighters.
Not everyone can say they made it out of Helgen. Seems we're all branded villains these days.
See?
So long as your criminal past stays in the past.
Alright, now that we've met,
For me with honor and
come have a truce
we'll welcome you into
with
our
your
ranks.
biggest enemy. Well, I guess not your biggest enemy.
Meantime, we have a war to plan.
Speak with Galmar. It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want?
Yeah. He wouldn't remember me particularly, though.
I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course. And the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King. I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there. Alduin, the World Eater of song and legend. If that's true, we're all doomed anyway. And if it isn't true, well, then the fight to free Skyrim goes on. Either way, I don't see the use in talking to the Empire. You're right. Let Tullius be the one to insult the Greybeards by refusing their summons. Show
It's
up
much
and
easier to
prepare us
persuade
for
him.
the foreigners they really are.
How do I earn ranks in Persuade? Is that just through attempting it multiple times? Or do I have to be successful?
Yes. I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs.
I don't know how you convinced Ulfric to talk to the Empire. Worse than a waste of time, if you ask me.
You just... Alright. That's fine. Let's go talk to Tullius.
You hear the news? There's a dragon roosting up on Mount Anthor, to the northwest.
What is it? Dragons?
Stay away from the Aretino residence. The place is cursed.
I might go scope that out before I warp here.
Stay out of trouble, Orc. If you need an apothecary, the White Bile has a respectable...
Map. Said northwest, right? Up on this mountain. Oh, it said map updated. See if I got like a quest for it. Quests. I guess it didn't get marked. They're unlisted. I see.
By the gods, you're deceased. Get yourself to the White File and purchase a remedy before you infect us all.
We got a nickname for anyone who trifles with us guards here in Windhelm. Suicide.
Like, the name of the person who trifles with you is suicide? See, that sounds to me like that guard, like, has thought that, like, that's his line. He's thought about that. You know, this is the cool thing that he says to strangers in the town. Unless if you're a mage. Got a nickname for people who trifle with us. Suicide. Walks away. So cool. That was such a cool thing to say. It's totally sensical. Alright, I want to go scope out this dragon, if I can. I'm gonna also make a regular save. Should do that every so often, since it seems like it's possible to softlock in this game. I thought I softlocked in the Alduin cutscene. Did she just fall? I thought I softlocked. I ended up having to use a console command in order to fix it. Like I had to unroot myself. Yeah, I heard the thing about the disease. Where can I check that? Also, is Lydia dead forever? Can she die from something like that? Railings would be nice. I'm trying to find her before I progress here. Wait. Might be her right there. Hey, Lydia. Interesting. You think of a sandwich as being significantly higher effort than tea. Status screen. Disease is contracted 1. It doesn't tell me what the disease is or what it does. The stats in this game are hard to make heads or tails of regardless.
Yeah.
It's a goat. Well, I guess I use an electric kettle to make Andrea tea. Maybe that's blasphemy in certain parts of the world.
You win.
There's an active effect. Where did you see it? Oh, active effect. Oh, reduced weapon skills. Huh. And I don't necessarily know that that's a disease, I guess. Rock joint sounds like it's a bad thing. Andrea drinks a lot of tea. She's not a coffee person. Do Diet Coke. I only have an electric kettle because there was one in our hotel room in Japan, and I was like, this thing is super cool. I think I even mentioned it, and someone was like, those are in every household where we are. It's not special. Super convenient. Oh, what's up? This must be the guy. Ow. Die. I forget, does it land eventually, or do I have to do something to it to force it to land? I was using that against Anduin earlier. Looks like that works. So even if I didn't have that shout, it would eventually land either way. Oh shit. I'm not clear on why I wasn't healing there. Alright, try again. Hey, Jonathan, how you doing? You'll land at the next opportunity, basically. He's dragon shouting, me! Only I may do that. Do you like do a cool teleport thing? That's cool. All that does is forces him to land, right? Have any other effects? No, I don't have any mods. I just consult the weight to be arbitrarily high, basically. Let's see. Take my level up. I get a full Magicka heal for that, that's nice. Level 15, which maybe affects what I can do now. Now I gotta get destruction higher, but requires 50. Maybe see about healing. Requires 40. Requires 20. Ooh, that sounds good. That's significant. Wow, yeah, that bonus is pretty fantastic. Big fan. Get it, Lydia. She's doing most of the damage here. Good job, Lydia. Lydia resisted Dragon Rend. Proud of you. Tail swipes are nasty in these games. Hey man, first-person melee is so underwhelming. I think I've never played a game that got first-person melee to work well. Overwatch is probably the closest I've seen. You serious? Is that just a chance of that happening whenever I'm in front of it? That sucks. That's the whole fight. Yeah, strong enough dragon to resist that shout. Exactly. Chicken resisted dragon run. Oh man, this is a silly game. Oh, it's not guaranteed to be fatal. Gotcha. I see. So it plays a special animation when it gets a kill. It doesn't necessarily have an instant kill attack. Get a good oof there from Lydia. Chickens are dinosaurs, which are basically dragons. Exactly. Let's pick up that 50% more healing thing. It's pretty great. Don't land all the way over there. God, that's so rude. Shit. Come on. Whoa, what else is talking to me? Who else was attacking me a second ago? Mud crab? Mud crab, pay attention. This is not the right time to be attacking. This dragon is a pretty big risk to you as well. I don't know if I can win this without Lydia DPSing it. I don't know where Lydia is. Am I taking a lot of damage? Did I just hit a bandit? Are you serious? I guess that travels really far. Okay, Lydia's still alive, looks like. Keep going at it, Lydia. I'm doing the bulk of the damage here. Fucking bandit came over here. I accidentally aggroed with Dragon Shout. Like, who was that yelling at me just now? I can't tell if I'm hitting it or not. And it is taking damage, but I can't tell if that's because of me or because of Lydia. Just trying to stay topped off here so he doesn't fight my head off again. A good way to grind up my healing, at least. Nothing else. Good job, Lydia. The Dragonborn wins the day once again. Do I automatically get a dragon soul? Yeah, here we go. Did you kill that, that bandit that I accidentally aggroed? Is there somewhere I can go to see the number of dragon souls I currently have? Alright. I did the thing that I wanted to do that was off the path. Let's go back on the path for a bit here. I'm excited to have 50% more healing, though. That's very exciting. I think you use dragon souls as a currency to earn more shouts, yeah. That was a random dragon. It was, I think, pretty sure it was the one they were talking about in the town. They were like, we saw a dragon to the northwest. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna go scope that out. Alright. Salt. Yes. Have all of the Elder Scrolls games do they all have, fast travel?
Suits me. It's difficult and sometimes tedious.
I'm not interested,
but a well-made
It doesn't matter how many times you ask.
So, I don't know how I feel about fast travel. It's obviously very convenient, especially when you have to travel really, really long ways. I feel like it's something they should make you work for. I've been appreciating in World of Warcraft, in order to unlock flying, you basically have to do absolutely everything in an expansion. You have to do all the quests and get all of the high reputation, so by the time you have it unlocked, you don't really need it anymore. It's just kind of a convenience. I think that would probably be my preferred way of unlocking in a game like this. If you give it to me, I'm going to use it, you know? I'm not going to hold back just on the desire to run into side quests and things. Or on 4 separate fast travel networks. What the fuck just happened? Did I clip into that pot and it damaged me? Did more damage than that dragon breath. Chamber pot clipping. God, this game is the thing. Alright. Can I not fit over this? Really? Alright. I need water to not die. It makes the world feel segmented. Well, I feel like this game is trying to, ooh, a piece of candy, distract you all the time when you're traveling. And it doesn't really work if you're just fast traveling everywhere. You're not getting those distractions all the time. Makes the world feel smaller. Yeah. It's tough. It's one of those, it's like the archetypical quality of life improvement that maybe takes something away from the game. It's kind of a double-edged sword. 13,000. Wow. That's a lot of deaths. Should totally do
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard.
Celeste Spiky. That sounds awesome.
Something in the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
Okay. I had a little bit too much soda before stream. Run to the restroom quicker. I'm back.
The road to Whiterun's not safe these days. Lots of travelers just disappear south of Dragonbridge.
I remember you. You were at Helgen. Speak to Legate Ricka. I suspect we could use someone like you.
Hey, is that Bailey Saltai from Battlestar Galactica? Commander Bailey from Mass Effect.
I see. Then there's nothing further to discuss. If you
Oh,
change
never
your
mind. I
mind,
don't think
speak
it
with
is.
a Legate.
Speaks with a similar cadence.
The Greybeards. What do those old hermits want with me?
Oh, maybe it is him.
Why? There's nothing to discuss as long as that traitor Ulfric is in arms against his rightful emperor. They are getting to be a problem.
It is him.
But I
Michael
wasn't
Hogan.
sent to Skyrim to fight dragons. My job is to quell this rebellion, and I intend to do just that. Dragons or no dragons.
Persuade.
I'll be the judge of that. Besides, by all reports, the Stormcloaks are suffering just as much as we are from these dragon attacks. Fair enough. We're driving the Stormcloaks back well enough at the moment, but we're already overstretched. That's what comes of trying to win a war with a bare handful of legions. If the Emperor would just give me the reinforcements I've requested. Most of the Legion is tied down on the border with the Aldmeri Dominion. The Emperor can't afford to risk weakening Cyrodiil's defenses. From the Imperial City, our war here is
trying
just
to
a
avoid
sideshow, an interlude before the main event.
Trying to get a
against the
truce
Thalmor resumes.
so we can trap Alduin.
Yes, fine. I'll come to this Greybeard Council. For all the good it will do.
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir.
I can tell you, he's planning to do it. He's talking about it right in front of me.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Balgruuf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's claim.
Well, if he wants
I was tempted to make a timer there where we could try to see how many minutes we can go without a bug.
General.
You people and your
Tullius walking back and forth and getting stuck in his pathing.
You can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't asked for.
If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to. We'll let it seem like it's his idea.
Yes, sir.
You Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
Sir.
She looks like Robin Wright.
The Greybeards have called
Has anyone watched the new season of House of Cards with no Kevin Spacey? I just wonder if it's any good. I mean, I really like Robin Wright, so. Let's go back, talk to the Greybeards. We are going to do some open exploration at some point in this game. Just kind of run around and see what we run into. They're on top of a big old mountain, aren't they? Hi, Hrothgar. Yeah, me too. The first season was really strong. Second season was okay. The third season was kind of bad. And then the fourth season kind of picked it back up again, and I don't think Andrew and I ever watched the fifth. I think they're just trying to, it was too little butter over too much bread, you know? The butter was really good. They're just trying to stretch it out more than they should have.
So, you've done it. The men of violence are gathered here, in these halls whose very stones are dedicated to peace. I should not have agreed to host this council. The Greybeards have no business involving ourselves in some matters.
Man, I'm super pumped to play Crosscode. I really like that game. I've had that happen before where I've been enjoying a game, really into it, have another game show up that takes up my time, and then completely lose interest in going back. Like, I forget what disrupted it, but I was doing an off-stream recorded Dark Souls 3 playthrough, and I made it all the way, like I'm at the final boss, but I had something else come up. Oh, I think we went to Las Vegas or something for Andrea's sister's birthday, and I came back and I was like, I'm good.
Peace? I doubt it. They may put their weapons down for a moment, but only to gather strength for the
Your character's a god after doing 25% of the content.
They're not yet tired of war.
Yeah.
Far from it. Do you know the ancient Nord word for war? Season unending. And so it has proved. But regrets are pointless. Here we are. Take your seat at the council table, and let us see what wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim.
Well, I'm not going to be using my skills of persuasion because I have none in this character.
So, Arngeir, is it? You know why we're here. Are you going to let us in or not?
You are not invited here. You're not welcome here.
We have as much right to be at this council as all of you. More, actually, since we were the ones that put the Dragonborn on this path.
Were you? The hubris of the Blades truly knows no bounds.
Delphine, we're not here to rehearse old grudges. The matter at hand is urgent. All
I didn't know the Greybeards didn't like them. They may have mentioned that much earlier.
We know a great deal about the situation and the threat that Alduin poses to us all. You need us here if you want this council to succeed.
Very well. You may enter.
Here you go. I feel like I should create a rule for whether or not I'm going to want to do something. I don't want people to feel like they need to withhold, participating in the voting system or in subblock on the off chance that I just play something for 5 extra hours a night and Andrea is out of town. I don't think I will do that with Crosscode. I think I will only play it if it gets on subblock for the voting system.
Take your seat, and we can begin. Now that everyone is here, please take your seats, so we can begin.
Smash is next week? Wow, I lost track of time. What the hell happened in November?
You insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? You're Chief Talos Hunter?
That didn't take long.
Here.
I have every right to be at this negotiation. I need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms of the White Gold Concordat.
And Talos is the god that the Imperials are trying to wipe out worship of.
Please, if we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
By Izmir's beard, the nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that I would sit down at the same table with that Thalmor bitch. Either she walks or I do.
What's the harm?
Maybe so, but bringing her here is a deliberate provocation. Tullius needs to know I won't be pushed around.
Let him have his way, he'll have to give ground later.
It feels like a mistake to me, but I'll bow to your judgment.
I think he's supposed to be sitting, yeah.
But she is to observe, nothing more. We are not negotiating with her. Is that clear?
Ulfric, why so hostile? After all, it's not the Thalmor that's burning your farms and killing your sons.
She's supposed to be on our side?
You know exactly. No. Not this time.
Now that that's settled, may
there
we proceed?
I have something to say.
The Inquisition.
Here we go.
Show.
The only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the Dragon Menace.
There's nothing else to talk about. Unless the Empire is finally ready to renounce its unjust claim to rule over the free people of Skyrim.
I knew he wouldn't be able to resist.
A temporary truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more. I consider even talking to the Empire a generous gesture.
Are you done? Did you just come here to make speeches, or can we get down to business?
Yes, let's get this over with.
Are we ready to proceed?
I see. Okay.
Jarl Ulfric. General Tullius. This council is unprecedented. We are gathered here at the Dragonborn's request. I ask that you all respect the spirit of High Hrothgar, and do your best to begin the process of achieving a lasting peace in Skyrim. Who would like to open the negotiations?
Yes, let's get down to it. We want control of Markarth. That's our price for agreeing to a truce.
So that's why
Should be
you're
no price.
here, Ulfric? You dare to insult Greybeards by using this council to advance your own position?
It is kind of fucked up.
General, this is outrageous. You can't be taking this demand seriously. I thought we were here to discuss a truce.
She kind of has a point.
I said I'd handle it. Ulfric, you can't seriously expect us to give up Markarth at the negotiating table. You hope to gain in council what you've been unable to take in battle, is that it?
I'm sure Jarl Ulfric does not expect something for nothing.
Yes, that'd be entirely out of character.
Wait, General, you don't intend to just hand over Markarth to that traitor?
This is how the Empire repays us for our loyalty?
Enough. First, let's be clear. This council wasn't my idea. I think it's a waste of time. You are a traitor to the Empire, and deserve a traitor's death. But I at least will negotiate in good faith. Since we're all here at your request, I'd like to hear what you think Markarth is worth.
So, the politics of the Elder Scrolls universe are interesting to me. It's hard for me to keep track of it. The Thalmor kicked the Empire's butts, but they're part of the Empire? I'm trying to think of like what's a comparable thing that happened in real-world history. Like, they didn't take over the Empire, but the Empire kind of has to kowtow to them, right? They're not. Oh, okay. Thought they were.
In exchange for Markarth, the source of most of Skyrim's silver. Hardly. Riften seems like a better choice to me. Well fortified, easily resupplied from across Lake Honric, plus all the mead we can drink.
There are advantages to getting done, sir.
Not enough to outweigh the loss of Markarth.
Persuades
With
that.
the reach in enemy hands, our whole position in Solitude would be threatened. I'm glad you agree. I was starting to wonder whose side you were on here. You heard what she said, Ulfric. We've made you a fair offer. Are you serious about these talks, or are you just here to posture?
I expected better from you, Dragonborn. I came here in good faith, and now it seems you helped the Empire.
How is that helping the Empire? Should I know more about the politics to know that Dawnguard is better for Ulfric? Because he didn't say what he wanted.
Talking to the Empire is just as useless as ever. If you think you can hold Markarth,
quick save before this.
Emperor when he signed away our
I'd rather side with the Stormcloaks anyway.
Skyrim will never again bow to you, false Empire.
Let's go,
U.S. Japan, I could see that.
I should have listened to you in the first place.
You always were a fool, Ulfric. You're no better.
I thought that the only way to gain persuade points was to attempt to persuade, right? How do you build it?
That you can't see past your pitiless agreement? Here you sit.
I also seem that there's no downside to trying. Like, it always lets you pick a normal option after persuade fails. Or trade.
So I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue.
He is with me, and I advise you both to listen to what he has to say.
Buying and selling.
Don't you understand the danger? Don't you understand what the return of the dragons means? Alduin has returned, the World Eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen comrades. He grows more powerful with every soldier slain in your pointless war. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
Raises a good point.
A very pretty speech. But what does
Shut
it have
up.
to do with the...
If he's right about Alduin, we both have just as much to lose here, Tullius. Remember that. Now,
It lets you
back
skip
to the
quest
matter at
sequences.
hand.
Interesting.
Don't hand me a mug of sheep's piss and call it mead. These terms are still not acceptable.
I'm sure you have something in mind.
Damn right we do.
You surrender Falkreath to us. Sidgeir steps down, and Dengir of Stun resumes the Jarlship.
Where do these demands stop, Ulfric? Do you expect me to surrender all of Skyrim?
It seems I have no choice but to let the Dragonborn decide. Although I'm starting to doubt your fairness. What say you, Dragonborn? Spoken like a true daughter of Skyrim. I suppose that's the fairest deal we're likely to get.
It seems we may have
Looks like they both gave up something extra.
Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius. These are the terms currently on the table. Markarth will be handed over to Ulfric's forces. Jarl Igmund will step down, and Thongvor Silverblood will become the Jarl of Markarth. The Stormcloaks will withdraw from the rift, allowing Imperial troops unhindered access. Jarl Layla Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Blackbriar will become the Jarl of Riften.
So are the Thalmor, do they have Imperial aims too? Are they trying to take a lot of land, or are they just... Are they bigger than the Empire?
Agree to this?
The Sons of Skyrim will live up to their agreements, as long as the Imperials hold to theirs. What about you, Elisif? Are these terms to your liking? Speak up! I'm sure General Tullius is waiting to do your bidding.
I have nothing to say to that murderer. General, you've proven yourself a good friend to Skyrim. I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. I appreciate your...
What makes them so powerful?
The Empire can live with these terms, yes, for a temporary truce, until the dragon menace is dealt with. After that, Ulfric, there will be a reckoning. Count on it.
Come on, Galmar. We have a lot of work to do.
Giving up Markarth is a heavy price for this truce, Dragonborn. I hope it was worth it.
Jarl Balgruuf, I assume you are familiar with the Dragonborn's plan?
Yes, I'm ready to do my part. Just say the word, and my men will help you spring this trap.
But the difficulty remains how to lure a dragon to Dragon's Reach at all.
Well, that's an excellent question. You haven't overlooked that little detail, have you?
Ah, I believe I can be of help here.
Hey!
I anticipated the problem.
I really
While
like
you
him.
were arranging this meeting, I was busy in the library of Skyhaven Temp, an unguessed trove of lost lore. But the important thing is that the blades recorded many of the names of dragons they slew. Cross-referencing this with Delphine's map of dragon burial sites, I believe I've identified one of the dragons that Alduin has raised out.
He has multiple voice actors?
Don't you see? The names of dragons are always 3 words of power, shouts. By calling the dragon with a voice, he will hear you wherever he might be. He's not compelled to, but dragons are prideful by nature and loath to refuse a challenge. Your voice in particular is likely to intrigue this dragon after your victory over Alduin. I think it's very likely that he will be unable to resist investigating your call. Ah, indeed. I'm no master of the voice, like these worthy gentlemen, but it is written here in this scroll. Odahviing, winged snow hunter, as I read it.
I hope this truce gives you what you need. It won't last.
Snow called dragon.
There's one more thing. We know about Parthenax, the dragon that the Greybeards have been protecting for all these years. He needs to die. He deserves to die. And it falls to you to kill him.
Whoa, Delphine, I know that's your whole deal, but...
Well, I'm sorry, but we would dishonor our oaths as blades if we continue to help you.
No, I think I'm going to stick with Parthenax.
The faction that rules the Aldmeri Dominion. The ones who almost destroyed the Empire during the Great War 30 years back.
Was the Great War the subject of any previous game? Or has it happened between games?
The last war. The Thalmor don't intend to lose the next one.
Okay, so yeah, US, Japan. I think I can think of that. The Thalmor are super powerful, like the US in World War II. The Japanese were powerful in their theater and had imperial aims that were decisively shut down.
When I was young, our leaders became obsessed with
pretty
the
long
Thalmor
after all the
threat.
previous games. Okay.
They believed that
Oh,
if
even
and
after like
when we
Oblivion?
found a Dragonborn, we would need to protect her against the Thalmor. Turns out we fatally underestimated the Thalmor. They smashed us with ease during the Great War. I was one of the few who escaped. For a long time, all I cared about was staying alive and taking revenge on the Thalmor when I could. But then the dragons returned, and I remembered that the Blades used to be dragon slayers, and that we were sworn to protect the Dragonborn, the greatest dragon slayer of all.
That's me.
Do the right thing. Parthenax deserves to die.
Parthenax is nice. He's helping. He's a helpful friendo. Friendo Dargan. Would he care to stop occupied France? Okay. U.S. dictated Japan's post-war constitution, right? So they couldn't have a military. They still aren't allowed to have a military, right? They can have a defense force. I see. So you're describing not the events and the power relationship, but the influence that the Thalmor have over the Empire now. Have they taken further steps on that? Japan amending their constitution. I remember hearing that was on the table.
We're ready,
actually
Dragonborn.
happened.
Just say the word. May the gods watch over your battles, friend. As I promised, my men stand ready. The great chains are oiled. We wait on your word.
What would you have me do?
My men know what to do.
Your brother is
Make
a
sure
Jarl.
you do your part.
You know I can't question
I'm
his
putting
judgment.
my city in your
I'm not
hands.
asking you to defy the Jarl, just to open his eyes. Use subtlety and suggestion to turn his thoughts to the war. You're his steward. He'll listen to you.
Do I have to do this shot from a specific area? It seems like it wants me to leave through another door here. Yeah. Have that in front of the Jarl. I know, right? Okay. This seems like this is the appropriate place to do it. Never mind. Great porch.
We're ready.
This game is still really pretty. For all the shit it deserves. Alright, so, I gotta go magic, shouts. It automatically gave me a Call Dragon, but it gave me all the individual words that maybe I can combine into other shouts later as well.
Odahviing!
We're ready when you are.
Odahviing. Oh, it worked, okay. All it does is forces the beast to land, okay. I think Fire Breath's more likely to actually do damage to this thing, which probably not so much. Whoa, that one's pretty sweet looking. Oh, that sucks. I might have to force him to land, actually. Oh wait, no, there he goes. Get him, Lydia. It's all you. Yeah, equip that guy. Oh, this guy keeps healing, that's all I know. I need to trap him, not kill it. Okay. I thought trapping it would be reducing its health like a Pokemon. That means you, Lydia. That means you, Lydia. That means you, Lydia. Oh my god, Lydia. There we go. Oh. I guess maybe this dragon doesn't speak English. Well, we just need to trap it. Oh my god, Lydia. Lydia. You are not helping. Hey, look at that.
Bonar, you went to a great deal of trouble to put me in this humiliating position.
Yeah, that's kind of humiliating, the camera angle I have that I'm talking to.
Alduin, no doubt you want
right at
to
its
know
nose.
where to find Alduin. Renik Vaza, an apt phrase. Alduin Boval. One reason I came to your call was to test your Thuum for myself. Many of us have begun to question Alduin's lordship, whether his Thuum was truly the strongest.
I do like the whole association between dragons and shouts. That's such a unusual thing for fantasy.
Ready to openly defy him.
Thuum is like breath, right? It's like shouts.
Once Lord Croesus, innumerable pardons, I digress. He has traveled to Sovngarde to regain his strength, devouring the Silesure, the souls of the mortal dead, a privilege he jealously guards. His door to Sovngarde is at Skuldafn, one of his ancient fanes high in the eastern mountains.
I know, right, Yukibo? I just finished buying a second set of Jackbox games on Switch just because it's convenient to bring to people's houses.
I warn you that all his remaining strength is marshaled there. Zuulost Ofan Hinlan. Now that I have answered your question, you will allow me to go free?
Sure.
Serve you? No. Need id. If and when you defeat Alduin, I will reconsider. Croesus. There is one detail about Skuldafn I neglected to mention. Only this. You have the Thuum of Adova, but without the wings of one, you will never set foot in Skuldafn. Of course, I could fly you there, but not while imprisoned like this.
I think I asked this previously, but I don't remember the answer. Is there a post game in this? Like, after I go and do whatever the final boss is and it plays the credits, can I then pick up my save and keep playing after the boss is dead, or do I have to do all my exploration before going to the point of no return? Keep playing after the main story. Okay, thank you.
Onikan Korav Gair Mirad. It is wise to recognize when you only have one choice. And you can trust me. Zuni Tarudis. Odahviing has proven himself unworthy to rule. I go my own way now.
You can go your own way.
Free me, and I will carry you to Odahviing.
Morrowind lets you rush the final boss. See, I wish his face looked like that while I was talking to him, and I wasn't looking at his nose the whole time. That looks way cooler.
I would be most appreciative if you would permit me to perform some, tests on you, purely in the interests of the advancement of knowledge.
Be gone, mage. Do not test my promise to the Odahviing.
I assure you, you will not even notice me. Most of them are hardly painful at all to a large dragon such as yourself.
Very bad idea.
Surely you wouldn't miss a few scales, or a small amount of blood.
Jume, what are you doing back there?
Captive dragon. Slink across the oceans. You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College in Winterhold.
I'm down. Let's go. You can take me now. Do I have to, like, set him free first? Oh, I think so. Okay.
I can't believe that. You sure about that? You want to let that dragon loose after all the trouble to catch him in there?
The rest still act like he's there during that scene? That's funny.
Your funeral. Someone else is gonna have to help you get him back in there again. Get ready to open the trap. This seems like a really bad idea to me.
Carry on, soldier. This is all part of the Dragonborn's plan.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Was nu, dini dein Ruthi Astval.
Sounds like Zero's nice since it's a flashback. Introduces the character that she'll then get used to.
Saran Uth, I await your command as promised. Are you ready to see the world as only a Dova can? Krezini, the freedom of the sky.
Alright, let's make sure we've got a save slot here. This feels pretty endgame-ish.
Here, Nogal, as promised. Saran Uth, I await your command as promised. Are you ready to see the world as only a Dova can?
Or like, you know, a pigeon.
Zuk Brit Oth, I warn you, once you've flown the skies of Kaizal, your envy of the dove will only increase.
I guess that's the order it was released, so.
Amativ, Mubo Kotins
Whole new world. They're just talking, I'm like way far away. Like I can't hear them at all. Oh, this game's silly.
This is as far as I can take you. Grifoth Akrin. I will look for your return. Or Odahviing's.
Alright. Probably should have got more like potions and shit, but that's why I made a save point. I think my increased healing stat might make a big enough difference. I guess we'll see. Oh, I don't have Lydia for this. Shit. That's all of my DPS is from Lydia. Maybe I should wait to come here until I'm super buff. I am decidedly not super buff. I should be nuking down this dragon, I think. I know this is a bit of a spoiler, but just so I can plan my playthrough, is this the end game? This dungeon here? With the dragon dropping you off? Because if so, I can go ahead and leave this up and then go do a bunch of exploration now. I think it is. I put the how long to beat as 32 hours, so I could try to target coming back here at like hour 30 or 31 or something. Does that affect my magic weapon? The main story ends after this dungeon. Okay, thank you. I'll go ahead and load then. I'm just not strong enough to do anything here. Oh, okay. Alright, let's go do what Skyrim's all about. Let's wander around and do random side quests we bump into. It doesn't matter what order I do stuff in, right? Because the world scales to me. Found weapons are equivalent to existing metal weapons. Okay. How can I cure my disease? Now I'm playing Skyrim.
Watch it. Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard.
I don't... playing as a mage, I don't have the resources to be able to win in there without Lydia. Lydia has been my primary source of DPS. Like, if I sat there and zapped it, I would just run out of mana. I don't have any potions to deal with it, so I gotta build up the destruction tree a little bit to make spells cheaper. I kind of want to get to a point where I don't have to worry about mana too much, which I think is possible. I think you can get enough enchants and upgrades that it's basically a free resource. It just takes a long time to get there. I think we had to go there for plot reasons, yeah. I don't know. Adept? I don't remember setting that, but... Yeah, it was when I was looking for information about the Elder Scrolls. I'm just gonna run around and see what we run into. I'm guessing most players don't go into that final area at level 20.
Oh well. Must have run off.
You're bloated with disease. The Vigilant of Stendar can help you, as long as you promise to never assist the Daedra. Stendar's light purify you of your ills.
That's convenient. Sweet.
The Vigil be watching you.
So I haven't interacted with mages or masters of schools at all. I've only leveled up magic by using it. What do you mean by that? Like, they teach me new spells or something? Oh, it's an ice wraith. Let's maybe not use ice on it. Alright, I can warp there. Certain areas have level floors. Oh, there are spell tiers that are restricted by your skill and magic type. We don't want to mess around with giants. Make sure Lydia's here. Okay, I can go scope that out. And most spells, it's with the opportunity cost thing in this game. There's like a version of Flames that's exactly the same. It's just mathematically better, does more damage, uses less MP. It's not like I'm choosing between different styles of spells with side effects. I might get like Flames 2. Oh, I see. Level 5, the area will still be level 20. That's to make sure that you still have that experience where you can wander somewhere that's very dangerous, like a giant camp, and still get wrecked if you go there too early. So the world scales up with you, but it never scales down to you, basically. It's got to be higher than level 20 then. Like, I wasn't doing any damage to those things. Just taking a boatload. Some spells fire a projectile. Oh, okay. Instead of being like a channeled stream, like what I currently have. Alright, I'll go scope it out. Let's see. I want to say it was all the way like up here somewhere, right? Hey, first try. How does this work? I just pay money? So I guess I have to find the NPCs. Level 20, but I don't have level 20 for good damage. Gotcha.
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several.
Well, level's not a super helpful
no secret that the college's reputation
metric,
in
right?
Skyrim is
just
tainted.
Represents how many perks you've spent, and you could have spent them all on lockpicking and shit, right? Lock cannot be picked.
If you're working on any experiment,
College main quest line's pretty
just
decent.
like anyone.
Oh, okay. I would like to do some of those major quest lines. I thought it would be fun to just kind of wander the map and see if we run into any dungeons or things like that, but so we try to figure out who to talk to trigger it.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. Are we clear?
I like this dude.
Hundreds of years have gone into assembling this collection. It's going to stay pristine, understand?
Higher level spells are more
assorted
efficient.
books, scrolls. I'm sure you'll find something useful.
Most of these don't.
If you're feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations. Well, all right, here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful.
Souls, black and white.
Fight
Would you be interested in an Elder Scroll?
You need a book? You talk to me.
Forgot I
Otherwise,
had
you're
that
going
still.
to find yourself in a lot of pain. Very funny. Did Enther put you up to this? You? Really? An Elder Scroll? I would be honored. Beyond honored.
2,000 gold. Could I have done something more useful with that?
This opens up entire new realms
That doesn't
of
seem like a
research
lot for
us.
like an artifact of
Only
creation.
Septimus, we're here to see this. Thank you. Please, take this. It can't quite compare to an Elder Scroll, but still,
Served its use.
you will be remembered for generations for this. Fight well.
Student dorm. So I need to go to the teacher dorm to find someone that teaches destruction and healing. And maybe conjuration. miscellaneous quests. That'd be fun too, though.
Here will last you a lifetime. Several with your talent. Another new apprentice, I see. Are
That's
you
me.
of the sort that believe you're here to change the world? Or are you only in it for yourself? I assure you that I shall be watching you, all of you, very closely.
Okay.
It's no secret that the college's reputation in Skyrim... Please, don't do anything to anger the locals. They don't need additional reasons to hate us.
Now I'll show you to your quarters. You're going to be sharing space with your fellow apprentices, who you'll meet shortly.
She must have let me in here, like, 10 hours ago or something, and I just, like, left and went and did my main quest line to talk to the librarian. And she's like, I'm back here, like, weeks later in game time, and she's like, I'll show you to your quarters
This is where
now.
you'll be staying. This bed and desk are yours. Please try and be considerate of others. Now, let's go back to the Hall of the Elements, where most of the members gather for lectures and study sessions.
Oh, someone gave me Ice Wraith teeth and Void Salts. It's so thoughtful of them. It's like when you get an Airbnb and they leave out crackers and cheese. But with Ice
Initially,
Wraith
you'll be
teeth
learning
instead.
from Tolfdir, one of our most esteemed wizards.
Getting a 5-star on you. Great stuff. Did you think?
Tolfdir is likely already
Kind of assumed a wraith is just like a
apprentices.
ghost, so it
Go on
has
in. And if you have
corporeal
any
teeth.
problems, let one of our senior members know.
When she said go on in, she didn't mean
Please
dive
don't
in.
bother the Archmage unless it's absolutely necessary.
Okay. Extra angry ghost. I think I've actually been in here before. I bought some stuff.
You can see me? But you can hear me, obviously. Something still isn't quite right. At least I'm making progress.
Train me in illusion magic.
I shall explain to you the mysteries of the Outer Realms.
Right, I can spend money directly, but I can only do it 5 times, right?
Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
Buy it on the Switch. Calm. Annoyance, courage.
Until next time.
Why is he the only teacher that's here? There's not multiple floors here, right? I see.
Why are my research materials constantly disappearing? I'll gladly share my knowledge with you.
Clearly I already did this at least a couple times. Get up to 35. Is there any reason to save training until you're a higher level? I assume it doesn't get any harder to
You
level
wish
up.
to master the arcane arts?
A rank is a rank. Actually, I want the restoration arts, not the arcane arts. Fast healing, healing hands, ward, steadfast word, turn into. So is fast healing strictly better than healing? Oh, I guess it's not channeled is the difference. Use him or lose him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, does leveling up skills get harder later in the game? I figured a level's a level's a level.
Enchanting services are one of the few things that keep us in touch with... You've come to the right place. I'd be happy to teach you.
Hey, that's Winnie the Pooh. Jim Cummings, I think? He's in everything.
I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. If you can't, perhaps Urag has a book you can read. No, I can't. I have enough to keep me busy. View it as a chance to hone your craft. All right.
The higher level is the more you have to do stuff to level them. Oh, okay. But it raises the cost to train them. Depending on whether you have gold or not, I guess. I don't think there were any better destruction spells when I came here before, because it looks like I've already talked to all the teachers here, because I have bought stuff from them already. Oh, I mean, sure. Every other game in the universe works like that. 6-gun, I just assumed that with the whole level scaling system in Skyrim that a level was a level. I just wasn't clear on that mechanic. Okay, let's see. Where's this book this guy wants? Okay. Can't choose not to convert them. Thieves Guild could be fun. It doesn't seem like that's what he has. Is it first lessons maybe? No. Here, I'll just do this quest line.
It's
Why
no
are my
secret that the
research
college's
materials
reputation in
constantly
Skyrim is
disappearing?
tainted.
I have many important things on my mind. Your concerns are not among them.
Welcome.
I just assumed it was an equal amount of XP between every level. But you're saying it's easy early on, then it's roughly
As I was saying,
flat after a certain point?
is that magic is, by its very nature, volatile and dangerous. Unless you can control it, it can and will destroy you.
Sir, I think we all understand that fairly well. We wouldn't be here if we couldn't control magic.
Of course, my dear, of course. You all certainly possess some inherent natural ability. That much is not being...
It does feel like, I feel like there are other games where they try to get a certain kind of timbre or accent for certain races. In Skyrim, it just feels like they assigned random voice actors to random characters independent of race.
Please. This is
I guess
exactly what I'm
the
talking about.
cat people are a little bit gravelly sometimes. Sometimes they have an interesting pattern. But I've heard random cat people NPCs just talk like a normal person. That's
You've
good.
been quiet so far. What do you think we should do? Well, your classmates certainly seem to disagree with you.
You get like 5 more sectors.
We can do it. Just give us a chance.
All right,
Yeah, he sounds
let's
different,
settle
at least.
down. I suppose we can try something practical.
In continuing with our theme of safety, we'll start with wards. Wards are protective spells that block magic. I'll teach you all a ward, and we'll see if you can successfully use it to block spells, all right?
Well, I assume that the enemies would give a static amount of XP. Like, you don't get XP for killing things in this game, right? You get XP for channeling your spell for 1 second, right?
That's what this lesson is for. Perfect time to try it out. Now, if you'll just stand right over there, I'll cast a spell at you, and you block it
You
with
could
the
get
ward.
1 point of XP for any action
Over
in the
there,
game.
please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way.
It's true, prop. I don't know. I feel like it stands out in a game like this, unless if they specifically explain, like, oh, I'm a dark elf that was raised among Skyrim people. That's why I sound like every other Skyrim NPC. Cast a word. I don't know if I have it on my quick menu. I think I have it. That's usually restoration magic, right?
You have to keep your ward up, or else this won't work. I don't want to hurt you. Over there, please, just opposite me. Wouldn't want anyone else in the way. Now, hold still. Excellent work.
Cool. It's a little shield.
Well, I think this is an excellent start. I'd like you all to continue practicing the wards, please. I think perhaps we're ready to begin exploring some of the various applications of magic throughout history. The college has undertaken a fascinating
you got me, Propagable.
It's an excellent
How can I put this? I don't feel like Skyrim's being progressive. I feel like Bethesda's being lazy. I've certainly played games where it feels like it's progressive. And I'd prefer to have the progressive take on it. It's like going up to someone and saying, so where are you from? I'm from South Carolina. Oh, but where are you from? South Carolina? Where are your parents from? Georgia?
I have many.
Where are your grandparents from?
Your concerns are not among them.
Yeah. I'm mostly calling out the laziness. I agree with you in principle, you're right. I think that there's a way to present that kind of multicultural attitude in the game and have it come off as feeling on purpose.
Education in the schools of magic.
It just reads to me that whoever was in charge of writing and doing the voice direction was not the person that was in charge of deciding who the characters were, right? Like, whether they're an orc or a dark elf doesn't seem to fit at all into their character design or their voice direction. It's okay to ask, where did your family immigrate to America from? That's pretty much acceptable, but a lot of people will say, where are you from? Sort of assuming that, oh, you're foreign, you're not an American like I am, you're an other. Right. Yeah. Expectations type of thing.
Skyrim still has such fine. You'll give an old man...
It's still a little weird to be like, hey, what's your ethnic background? Like, right. Lack of variety in voice actors is even worse in Oblivion. It's not the worst thing in the universe. I'm just poking fun at it. Yeah. Right, yeah. No one has ever asked me, ever in my entire life, where did your family immigrate from? But my friend Howard gets the, so are you Chinese or Japanese question quite a lot. It's like, who cares? basically all of Europe. Like I said, it's demonstrating that somebody's an other. That's why I think it's kind of inappropriate. It's something you can ask when you're like intimate with somebody. Like if you have a good friend and you've hung out with them for months, and this is your 10th or 11th time chilling, it might come up in conversation, but it's definitely not appropriate, I think, to be one of the first things you ask someone, because it very rarely defines their personality. Just say you're from Africa. Go far enough back. Oh, sorry, it's cool. I'm from Chicago until I was 12, and then Ohio until I met Andrea, and now I'm in New Mexico. Laos, just to fuck with people. That's the King of the Hill answer. And they ask their neighbor, "So are you Chinese or Japanese?" "I'm from Laos." "What?" I mean, not literally the 10th or 11th time, just order of magnitude, right? 10 hangouts is about appropriate to start asking questions like that, I think. First impressions, definitely not. So is he, like, actually walking here? Can I force him here if I use that wait command? In an hour. Oh, okay. Yell at me for being late. They walked right past me. I was just standing still.
Sitting around talking about magic, don't you think?
And here we all are. Shall we step inside?
This is exciting, isn't it?
It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education.
What's so important about this place?
We're particularly interested in the prevalence of magical seals placed on the tombs here. It's rather unlike anything we've encountered.
I think it might be more inappropriate in the United States. In Europe, where someone could have a very different culture just by being next door to you, the equivalent of a state next door, I could see that being helpful,
All right. Please stay close to me while we're inside. It should be safe, but it's always better to be cautious.
Cool. The daily living culture of, like, random person is going to be pretty close to mine in the US.
Who knows what we might find in here?
It was also the largest. Sacked
Yeah.
by the elves in the infamous Night of Tears, not much is known about what happened to Sarthal. This is an exciting opportunity for us to be able to study such an early... Well, are there any questions before we begin?
What are we looking at?
Anything.
A dank cave.
Anything at all that might be of interest. That's why I adore this location. We have
I like
no
this tall deer
idea
guy.
what we're going to find. And if along the way my message about the dangers of magic should happen to sink in for a few students, that would be a happy coincidence.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to describe. I don't think Propagable or I are saying that it is strictly never, ever, ever, ever okay to ask somebody about their ethnicity, especially when you first meet them. But there is a way to ask it that's not okay. There's a context in which that can be one of the first questions you ask of somebody that's inappropriate.
Ah, yes. Well, why don't you see if you can assist Arniel Gain? He's one of our scholars, here working on cataloging our finds. I expect he'd appreciate some help in locating any additional magical artifacts here in the ruins. Any enchanted items will do. The usefulness of the enchantment is irrelevant. If you find anything, the class can look it over. Now let's see. What shall we have the rest of you do?
Watch what you're doing.
Why don't you search for warding magics? Anything designed to keep people out. Don't interact with them, just identify them. All right, everyone. Let's be careful, but have fun.
In this dank cave.
My ancestors destroyed the homes of Onwin's ancestors. So much bloodshed.
I love how Lydia's just along for the ride. She's gonna be a mage by the end of this too. She's just auditing the class. Super tan, how about that?
To think, my ancestors destroyed the homes of Onwin's ancestors. So much bloodshed.
It would be like if Andrea went to a physics conference and she met somebody and the first thing they asked her was, when you were a little girl, did you play with dolls? That could be an appropriate question at some point, but at a physics conference is the very first thing you ask someone professionally. It's not appropriate.
I'm not seeing signs of any warding magics at all. Either they're not here, or they were removed long ago.
She's paying attention. I forget, there probably is a light spell in this game, right? But I can also, like, equip Torch, I think? That helps. Yes, that's helpful too. Or assumes that she's not the physicist.
Please be careful here. The site isn't entirely secured.
I've had that happen in public before. Especially in Los Alamos. What division do you work in? I'm in the Spouse division. Or Bethesda would ever be willing to team up with another developer. Like, there's certainly a lot of stuff that they do right, you know?
Please be careful here. The site isn't entirely secured.
No kidding. That's the way I just came, huh?
Find Aniel Gain. He's somewhere in the northern section of the ruins. He'll show you what.
Is that him standing right there?
Take care now.
Well, certainly none of this will benefit my research. What? Ah, yes, you. I remember.
She's auditing the class, Raker.
You're going to help? That's fine. Just don't make a mess of my work.
What school is the light spell in? I'll see if I can find it and learn it.
You can look around in the chambers just north of here. Try and be careful, all right? We don't want to damage anything.
Illusion. Okay. The illusion guy didn't sell it here. I've been watching for it.
Ah, that's excellent news. This will be most helpful in furthering my research. I'm afraid I can't offer you much right now, but please take this. And perhaps, if this is all successful... Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. It's too early to be getting excited. Still, this is most encouraging. Thank you again. If I require anything else, I shall be sure and let you know.
Sweet.
As a matter of fact, there is something you can do for me. I had retained Enther's services in, acquiring something specific. But now he's refusing to deliver. Could you perhaps speak with him and see if we can come to some sort of arrangement?
So, this quest just justified all of my terror about this game. I happen to already have 10 Dwemer cogs on me because I essentially disabled encumbrance. And the argument has been, oh, but most of the stuff in the game is just there for flavor. It's actually garbage. You shouldn't be going around picking up everything you see, and then there's a quest to turn in 10 pieces of garbage that I obsessively picked up. you yawning, Lydia? Do I bore you? It's okay. If you're not sure, you can always discuss it and hide first, Raker. If everyone agrees that it's cool to share, you can go ahead and share it. That's cool. Is there like a detect magic spell in this game that lets me see artifacts? Will torches still disappear if she has them?
What in the world was that racket? Is everything all right?
Trapped behind a gate.
How in the world did that happen? Really? Perhaps the amulet is important somehow. Is there some way you can use it?
I really like this guy. Need a recent. What was the name of the amulet I just picked up? This is where I start to get in trouble. Sarthal amulet, okay.
Do you see that? Some kind of resonance.
That's cool.
The wall. It must be connected to the amulet. I wonder what effect magic spells.
God. Phone number in California calling me repeatedly. Hold on. Oh my god, it was a robocall that I hung up on twice and it called me back twice. Oh, thank you. That's cool. Look how excited he is. Usually I can just ignore him, but I've never had one where I dismiss it and then it calls back instantly.
This is highly unusual and very interesting. Why in the world would this be sealed off? What is this place?
I guess there's no way to know whether something's garbage or not. Like, I don't really know that there's not a quest to pick up 20 wheels of cheese, right?
Hold, mage, and listen well. Know that you have set in motion a chain of events that cannot be stopped. Judgment has not been passed, as you had no way of knowing. Judgment will be passed on your actions to come, and how you deal with the dangers ahead of you. This warning is passed to you because the Psijic Order believes in you. You, mage, and you alone, have the potential to prevent disaster.
Multi-level marketing, pyramid scams.
Know that the Order is watching.
Like, Mary Kay or Avon.
I swear I felt something rather
Some of them are worse than others. Herbalife.
What just happened?
MLMs are a little bit broader. A pyramid scheme specifically has like a structure where you get paid if you recruit other people to sell for you. MLM sometimes is just a scheme in that they charge you for the privilege of being able to sell things.
I'm afraid I didn't see anything.
You didn't see it, Tolkdir.
Tell me more about what you saw.
You must be super bummed.
The Psijic Order? Are you quite sure about that? That's very odd. And danger ahead? Why, that doesn't make any sense at all. The Psijics have no connection to these ruins, and no one's seen any of their order in a long time.
Does Lydia see it?
Take a look inside these coffins. Now, please do be careful. Who knows what we're going to find?
What's the Psijic Order?
They were a group of mages with a history that predates the Empire. Very powerful, very secretive. No one's seen them in well over 100 years. They vanished, along with their sanctuary on the Isle of Artaeum. I have no idea what connection they'd have to this place. I have no idea, but it's fascinating. Assuming it's true, of course. The Isle of Artaeum disappeared over 100 years ago.
I like that he just kind of trusts me.
No one has seen them since. And yet now, suddenly, they've chosen to contact you. Why, it's intriguing. If nothing else, I'd take it as a compliment. The Psijics have only ever dealt with those they feel worthy.
Well, I am like a dragonborn. Just taking a break from my dragonborning duty. What? You wanted to come here? Maybe he's talking to this guy. This is a canned line he says for when he's in danger. Oh, good job, Lydia. Denying me XP. I should probably dismiss her. I really want to level up. It does take time when there's a table that has 100 things on it and I can't even tell if there's like a magical ring or a weapon on it.
Simply fascinating.
Most of my issues with it are a user interface attention burden problem. There's just too much stuff for you to sift through everything and figure out whether something's good or not. You could do that with coloring things that are important, making them sparkle. Dude, you're supposed to be the pro mage. It just goes back to walking normally.
Seen anything like this in Nordic ruins before. Why just look at all these. This bears closer inspection. I'd like to stay a while and I've never seen anything like this in Nordic ruins before. Why just look at all these coffins. This bears closer.
Have you been in a Nordic ruin?
I'd like to stay a while.
Every Nordic ruin I've ever been in has had Draugr in it.
See if you can find whatever this vision of yours mentioned. But if it is truly dangerous, be careful.
We don't walk on that.
I'll be sure and catch up with you before long. This is simply fascinating.
Party warrior, calcium rich boy. Maybe most of my concerns would be solved through modding, but I think that's unfortunate that that's the way that Bethesda approaches design. They're like, yeah, we'll just count on the modders to fix shit. I feel like that's kind of what's getting them in trouble with Fallout 76. You can't mod an online game.
Oh.
What? Did I, like, teleport in on top of you? Telefrag you? Can you say with certainty that there is no quest in the game where someone wants me to collect 10 forks and knives and turn them in? Because, I mean, that seems like that could be an appropriate quest. I could see somebody looking to build a dinner set, even if it's silly. Because if there's not such a quest, then it raises the question, why can I loot those in the first place? Shouldn't even be lootable. They can still be an art object that that can have physics, and you can pick up and move with telekinesis and stuff, but you shouldn't be able to put it in your inventory. There's no cutlery quest. Fair enough. Wow, 100 plates for your house. So, I feel what I would do with that. I would have a thing where you can, by having found the art object, you get a blueprint for it or something like that. Like the first time you find a golden plate, now you can craft golden plates trivially. Or you can buy them from a vendor that sells art objects. And that's only for decorating whatever your house is. It's not just something that you can carry around in your inventory the whole game. It might work better in a sci-fi setting where you can like synthesize stuff, but you can still use magic with it. I might even not worry about the setting impact and just have an abstraction for convenience. Oh no, I'm fine with the art objects. I just don't like that they're lootable, because there's literally no reason to loot them. That would also fix my problem with it, I think. I've played plenty of games on stream that have an encumbrance that hasn't really bothered me. Usually they do a better job of not just blowing you up with stuff. Next time I get to a merchant, I'll try to get rid of a bunch of my extra crap here. Even if they just took the step of any item in the game that never serves any purpose at all for questing and is of minimal value, had like gray text, that would also be a solution I'd be happy with. And I could just know, hey, if it's gray, I can safely and permanently ignore it. We were pretty close, Prof. Gable. Yeah, I was saying earlier that I was reading a thread where there was a big debate about the encumbrance system, and about half the people were squarely on my side. If it's useless, why even let you pick it up? And half the people were super into it. So I don't think it's necessarily a question of right or wrong, but I think that there are ways to have the system that exists in Skyrim and leave it the way it is, but add some UI elements that make it less frustrating for a gamer like me that's irritated by it. You know, like I said, highlighting garbage loot in gray so you know that it's not worth picking up. And I feel like the whole, oh, but people want to pick up 100 plates so they can decorate their house is such like a corner case way to play the game. Oh, that was good. Careful next time. Yeah, I think sell trash is good. Well, those games that have a sell trash button usually highlight what's trash, right? And that's really important to me in any game, that if you have an item that its only purpose is to be sold to vendors, that it be marked in that way. So I've played games where you get the equivalent of vendor trash, and then you have a late game quest that requires that vendor trash item. It wasn't actually safe to sell it all along. You'll notice in modern game design, a lot of games will have a little marker that will say, the only purpose of this item is to be sold to vendors. Try to balance heavy armor, making it heavy, takes up a higher percentage of your encumbrance, you move slower. There's so many things wrong with that. Cheating yourself to 1 million encumbrance affects the game balance. Yeah. It's happening in this too. Okay, we got a puzzle here. See if I can find the solution. Well, we don't want to do it when we don't have the answer yet. Well, see, that's part of it too, is like, if the only penalty is that you move slower, I think the way it works in Dark Souls is great. It's a choice. Choosing between different roll speeds and different armor levels. Presumably there's a clue to this puzzle in here somewhere. We just try turning them all around and see what happens. Yeah, junk should be weightless, that would help too. Yeah, because I like the idea, Serpus talked about this a bit, I like the idea of flavorful vendor trash. It's more interesting for a spider to drop a venom sack that's worth 2 gold than for the spider to drop 2 gold, right? The problem is when the venom sack weighs more in your inventory than the 2 gold, which costs nothing. Oh, I see. I can still rotate those. So go back and talk to him and see if he has an idea. Hey, friend, there's a bunch of symbols. There's like a whale, a bird, and a snake. Yeah, right. Unless if that's specifically what the game is about. That's right. It's also just kind of a general rule I think we've landed on that it's okay to have a system that's annoying in most other games if that's the entire focus of your game, if it's a really core system. I just don't like when stuff is in there. It's like having a stealth level in a game that's not designed for stealth. Just kind of thrown in haphazardly. Now, if they really wanted to put a stealth mechanic into the game and the game's built around that, that's one thing, but this torch doesn't remember its durability if I put it away and then re-equip it, does it? Is this the answer? No. No, I haven't saved in a while.
Oh.
So. Yeah. Now, whereas like a game like Arkham Asylum, stealth is a core gameplay component, and if you fail to stealth, you're still Batman. You probably went way back, didn't you? Are the solutions to puzzles in this game almost always in the same area as the puzzle itself? Or can they be across multiple maps like this? They do. The torch eventually dies if I keep it out for too long, but it looks like I can put it away and then re-equip it. Okay. Sorry, I'll turn off Discord here. It's muted. No problem. No, I usually have it muted. I had to unmute it for our Golden Sky Story stream on Saturday and forgot to remute it. Yeah. That's just where the Draugr were coming out of. Being able to carry less stuff because of a build choice is dumb. Yeah, I agree. It's not an interesting choice in most games. Like, what's in your inventory and the choices you have in your inventory is pretty regularly a totally separate system from anything else in the game combat. Gotta be a clue here somewhere. Oh. Doy. I feel like I really overthink puzzles in this game. I always think it's going to be something crazy somewhere elsewhere, but it's almost always not even just in the same map, but in the exact same area right where I'm standing. Truly, it can't be that simple. The puzzle's not so much.
We've got this, Marstead. Where? How? Where? First try.
The most complicated puzzle we did was the one with, we had to look at the item description, which I happened to do just coincidentally. Why won't you die? Alright, I see how it is.
Yo!
Everything was useful to pick up. Right. Yeah. So that's a good comparison. I haven't played Path of Exile, but Diablo is similar, where Diablo gives you shitloads and shitloads and shitloads of loot. But what you're expected to do, there's, you know, loot quality tiers like every other game these days. White is garbage, blue is slightly better. Yellows and legendaries. So early in the game you want to pick up everything, and then eventually you're like, okay, I've got a full set of blues, I don't need to look at whites anymore. As you stop picking up whites and you stop picking up blues. It can be frustrating when they still have some purpose as like a crafting reagent. You can like desynthesize them, but even then still at some point you have to be like, alright, I don't care about this anymore. Mashed together is a good way to put it, Game Saucer. I feel like Skyrim has 100 cool things that were all made by 100 cool different developers, and they don't really feel like they work in harmony like some other games. Like all of the systems in Horizon Zero Dawn feel like they are harmonious with one another. Red Dead 2 is like that too. I played a couple games that feel like you can see the different team members. Actually, you know, I love Mass Effect with all of my heart, but... Wow. Holy shit. Let's see who my last save was. What's this cool shiny thing on the ground? It's an insta-kill magic trap.
Oh.
Ooh, woof. This isn't that far back. I guess it was after I got lost. I have to kill... big guy again. Wait, this is pretty far back. Shit. Well, actually, no, maybe me getting lost means that it's not as far back as I think it is, because it must have auto-saved when I walked in and out of the room. This chest has still been opened. I probably have to fight the big, nasty Draugr guy again. Alright. Path of Exile assumes you can solve a third-party loot filter. Yeah. WoW seems to do that. WoW seems to assume you have a certain set of add-ons. Save. Let's try to remember to quick save regularly. It's going so long without being in significant danger that I forgot. That's important. Only I may do that. Sorry to set you on fire there, Lydia. It wasn't on purpose. Attacking the enemy. Wow, Fire Breath does way more damage than my destruction spell right now. Come here. Come in.
yours!
It's a psychological thing. No, you're right. I feel like their developer has some onus to give you shortcuts with that at some point. Like, you never want to be doing something in a game that's just work. If it's 3 C's, if it doesn't cost anything but time, it has no challenge, and it has no choice, it should be streamlined. And I think the way you do that in an ARPG like Diablo or Path of Exile is you eventually let the player unlock something that just auto-converts garbage to salvage that's on the ground. Because there's a rule about whether something's garbage. Speaking from, like, Diablo 3 specifically, like, once your entire set of gear is max level legendaries, you will never, ever, 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 ever pick up a blue. Except to disenchant it. So having an ability to just auto-disenchant a blue that's on the ground whenever there's a blue near you. I mean, maybe make it something that you have to unlock so that you can feel the benefit of the shortcut. You knew what it was like to not have that power. I don't mind games that do that. Oh, battery's dead. Alright, hey. That's why I keep a bag of batteries here. Nope, kitties. I'm just getting up to get batteries. I'm not doing it. You all need to learn patience. RuneScape added an invention to let you disassemble almost everything in the game from components or junk. That can be refined into useful parts as well. Hey Kevin, welcome back. I think that the ability to trivially salvage most stuff in the game is also a huge help. If in Skyrim I could look at a piece of silverware and cast a spell on it that just turned it into magic dust that took up no space in my inventory, I would just do that all the time and feel confident. They're going quite well. I think I can trigger this, can I? Oh, thought I saved. Looks like I can trigger it. Not my fault. I was trying not to bring it up. So I've been trying to come up with a term for this, or see if someone's already termed it. Maybe something already exists in the industry that somebody knows. Yeah, I thought I needed this. Hold on. Why can I still hear? Oh, hold on. Sorry, fix it. Yeah, it's a ritual at this point. What was I saying? Trying to find out if there's already a term for this in the industry, or trying to come up with one. But the word I've been throwing around is mastering, and it describes a sort of gamer desire to be good at a game, not just through understanding its mechanics and having muscle memory, but to understand what the game expects of you through external research. For example, Path of Exile demands that you Google a build in order for the game to even be playable. And after you've done a certain amount of off-game researching, you develop this knowledge base that will make the game fun for you. I think that there are some gamers that want to have that experience, you know, the WoW Classic experience where the game tells you nothing and the only way you can find out is by asking other players and working it out together. Some players want the game to tell you everything, and I think I'm more, if that's a gradient, I'm more on the end of wanting the game to establish all its systems and not feel like I have to look stuff up on my own. Is that all it is? It's with these two symbols here. Well, I guess it could be the meta, but you can have a game that has a meta that the game does a pretty good job of conveying to you. You know, where you can go online and you can talk about the game, but that's not necessary to play the game. There are games where discussing the meta is necessary to even be able to experience it at all, at any level. Like Path of Exile versus Diablo 3. Diablo 3 can be completely played out of the box. You can never look on Reddit or look at a forum or Google anything, and it's completely accessible. So am I ignoring the ones up there, maybe? Dolphin, bird. They're the same though, aren't they? Snake, dolphin. Snake, dolphin. Yeah, the feeling that you need to Google stuff to even know what they're expected to do. So these two symbols match these two symbols. Oh, wait, that's a bird, isn't it? Is that the problem? Oh, dolphin, bird. Bird, dolphin. Snake, dolphin. Snake, dolphin. Oh, I think I see what's happening now. I wasn't reviewing it, so they're moving each other when I activate them. That one I can move on its own. That one's paired. Interesting. Is there only one that I can move on its own? That one moves those two. That one I can move on its own. Okay. Got it. This one moves all of them, so we should get it so it's one step away from what it needs to be. That, alright. Kind of like a lights out puzzle. And I think these ones only affect each other. First try. Hey Bubs, how you doing? You put that much work into playing games to be learning more skills about programming or something. Yeah, so I don't think it's right either way. I think that that's the axis that Diablo 3 and Path of Exile are on, or like Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone are on. Hey, my friendo, don't step on this trap or you'll die. That would be very sad. Lydia, do you not listen to what I just said?
Yeah.
Even let your AI-controlled allies trigger traps in the first place. No. Show, don't tell. I think that there are gamers that feel like if they've spent 20 hours reading about the game to understand how its systems work, that makes them feel content. That's a kind of achievement.
Far within Sarthor. Huh? Thought I heard something.
Thought I heard something. Actively attacking a guy.
Yo!
You're a Galderson.
Keep it busy. I'll try to drain some of its power.
He takes no damage. You make enough builds, you get a good feel what makes a good build good or bad bad. Yeah. All the combat lines feel out of place. Amulet Fragment increases magic by 30 points. CR.
Utterly unique.
Which note?
This is simply fascinating. I have no idea. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing. The Archmage needs to be informed immediately. He needs to see this.
Yeah, what was the name of the note?
I don't dare leave this unattended. Can you return to the college and inform Savos Aran of this discovery? Please, hurry.
Sure. Just went on a little routine quest adventure with my teacher. Found a cool magic ball. Huh, that should be doable, 6-gun. So for HDMI, Writ of Sealing. Be bound here, Uric, murderer, betrayer, condemned by your crimes against Rome and Lord. May your name and your deeds be forgotten forever, and the charm which you bear be sealed by our. Oh, it's a dragon soul just chilling here. That's shout potentially. Ice form. That's cool. I do like this as a unique reward from dungeons and quests. Freezes an opponent solid. That's neat. I assume it's the quest that he just gave me. To go back and tell them about the ball. Oh yeah? Which quest is it? Oh yeah, somebody told me about investigating the Galder legend already. I was thinking about pursuing that one. I can't find the quest that the librarian gave me to go find a specific book. Hey, it's a Skyrim shortcut. I appreciate that design. It's a one-way drop, though. Oh, is it a lesser quest or something? Miscellaneous. Find the copy of Soul's plugin. I see. Oh, they're repeatable. So there's multiple copies of that book in the world that I can turn in? I see. Does he ever ask for the same book twice? Infinite content because of repeatable quests.
I have many important things on my mind. Your concerns are not among them.
Cool, I'll leave you alone. He wakes up to immediately saying all the important things he has in his mind. Not, why did you wake me up, you jerk?
Let me give you a bit of advice. You want to work on something that's not officially allowed? Don't tell anyone you're doing it. You need something you're not officially supposed to have? You come see me. You tell anyone that I told you and I'll fry you from the inside out. Got it? Huh? Good. Even with the college's laid-back attitude, there are still some things that are off limits. Oh dear. He's so afraid to talk to me, he's sending you to do it?
Different
Should have expected as much. I'm afraid you've been a little misinformed. I have something of mine that I was going to sell to Arniel. You think you can do what he can't, and I'll sell it to you. Then you're free to run off to him with it if you like. I have a friend, let's say, who's interested in a staff. A particular one. It's nothing dangerous, so don't worry. I'm not even sure why he wants it, but then that's not really my concern. He's willing to pay for it. The problem is that it'll be a little difficult to acquire, seeing as how it's in the hands of someone who isn't exactly friendly. So you bring that staff back here and I'll consider it payment for the item Arniel was after.
Got it.
All right then.
Talk to the Archmage. Laid back attitude, indeed. Andrea bought a Chromebook recently. She needs it for work. She usually puts Ubuntu on it. She does her comp sci stuff on there. Anyway, she ordered one, and it would not switch into developer mode, so she couldn't install Ubuntu on it, and it's useless to her without that. And I refuse to believe that it wouldn't work. It's one of those things where it's like, I really trust you, Andrew, that you've Googled everything and you've tried everything to get this to work, but can I try it, please? And I tried it and I couldn't fix it. I've been in that situation a lot. It made me think of it because your issue with getting the sound to work on your TV 6 kind of like, I wish I could teleport over there to try it because I have this intense feeling that I'd be able to figure it out.
What you learn
but I
here
probably
will last
can't
you a lifetime.
if you can't, right?
Several if you're talented.
You beat me at the past too when you're like, I already checked the device manager, I already checked properties, audio properties.
You are relatively new here, are you not? I have noticed you, but we have not spoken. Sir? How quaint. I am Savos Arin, Archmage of the College of Winterhold. I am quite content to see nearly any aspect of magic explored and investigated here. But I do not and will not approve of any research or experiments that cause purposeful harm to your fellow members of the college. Are we clear? Please don't tell me that another one of the apprentices has been incinerated. I have enough to deal with right now.
This is part of the main quest line for the college, right? What I'm doing right now?
I see. I trust that Tolfir will provide a more specific explanation. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
I see.
I see.
I see.
Tolfir normally looks
I see.
I see. I see.
I see.
Since he's apparently occupied, and I will need to see this discovery for myself, I think perhaps you should begin researching the subject. Speak with Urag in the Arcanium. See if he's aware of anything that...
I'm sorry, Johan. I'm trying so hard to understand what's happened. I sent an email to the Depot developer.
Exploring Nordic ruins, perhaps this will be helpful.
Has anyone else noticed that they're not earning as much SP as they should be based on how often they're in chat? It sounds like it's just a Johan issue, and I have Googled and checked everything under the sun. I have no idea what it is. My only guess, so the way that bots and loyalty currencies work is it just uses IRC. When you're in Twitch chat, you're technically in an IRC server, and IRC every so often is doing this ping pong thing where it does this handshake and says, "Hey, are you there?" And it waits to see if you say, "Yes, I'm here," and if it doesn't hear back after a certain number of milliseconds, it says, "Okay, you're not there," and closes the connection. And that's the only thing I can think is what's happening with Johan, is that it's some sort of latency issue. What threw a wrench into it is he said that he did not have the problem in another streamer's channel, who happens to be in Europe. So the only thing I can think of that's a difference between me and that other streamer is that that other streamer is closer to Johan than I am. So I am using a different ingest server.
I think the
my bots hosted it differently. You should be getting about 1 SP every 5 minutes. Modified by whether you're a subscriber or not, so between 1 and 2 SP per 5 minutes. And Johan is not detecting the issue if he actively chats.
I've been trying to find you. I just wanted to let you know that Ancano's been asking about you. I think he's looking for you.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Just, well, mind what you tell him, all right?
That sounds right. 1.3 times 12 per hour. It's a good question, Spiky. Can you ping me that on Discord? Because I have to do prestiging manually. I may have made a typo.
No. Well, I don't think so. Between the two of us, there are rumors about him. That this advisor position he has...
I'm at a complete loss, Johan. I'm so sorry.
That what he's really doing is spying for the Thalmor, trying to feed them information. Whether it's true, I can't say. But it never hurts to be a little suspicious, does it?
I think you're probably supposed to have 2 little stars, Spiky. And I mistyped it or something, but I can fix it.
You're welcome.
You should have 2 at 2400 hours-ish and 3 at 3600 hours-ish.
I can teach you, but I won't be held responsible for what you do with the knowledge.
Destruction magic, please. I already sold.
Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
That's me. I've got the tools and I've got the talent. So are Fireball and Firebolt strictly better than Flames? I guess they cast differently. It's like a blast or a ball versus I like having the constant channel. Maybe I can just make a decision based on the cost of the spell. If it's 1,000, it's probably better. Maybe I'm not strictly better or still better. Okay. I'll try him out. Firebolt might be good too. Chain Lightning is probably the upgraded lightning.
So, you wish to master the arcane arts?
Get rid of some of my crap here.
Spells and incantations for those with the talent to cast them.
So this is increasing my speech. I see. Is it based on the total value I'm exchanging or the total number of sales I'm making? Yeah, I'm trying to get the most Magicka efficient stuff if I can. That's kind of my goal. I don't know how easy it is to make that happen. Cost is the single best indicator of the spell. Okay. Sure.
Next time.
Let's try just putting them on my favorites here. Favorite, 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 favorite. Selling lots of stuff.
Things on my... Are you quite sure we need to be speaking?
It's a rumor you're spying. Tell more.
Preposterous. And just the sort of thing I would expect from mages who have nothing better to do with their time. I have made it quite clear that my only role here is as an advisor to the Archmage. I would suggest that you not further spread this rumor.
Alright. That's my friend, the orc. Just walk up to someone and ask if they're a spy. You're a spy, right? No? You sure? 100%?
What you learn here will last you a lifetime. Several if you're...
I didn't think this was right. This is where we just came to talk to him. There. Speech. Terrible speed. Isn't this guy accessible from the main tower? The Hall of the Elements? Just not through the Archmage's door thing. Oh, here we go. I've noticed that the quest marker can be janky sometimes. Here we go.
I don't want to see you treating any of these books poorly. I know what you want. Word travels fast around here. Discovered some big mystery, huh? Well, you don't even need to ask. No, I don't have anything for you. Not anymore, anyway.
I brought you an Elder Scroll, man. Be helpful.
I said not anymore. Orthorn stole a number of books when he ran off to Felglow Keep to join those summoners. Some kind of peace offering. I think one of those volumes may have had some relevant information. If you want them, you'll have to talk to Orthorn.
Okie doke.
Not enough to bother with. Archmage Aaron's approach to these things is just to let them sort themselves out. Although now it looks like you'll be doing the sorting. Good luck with that.
Now, this is a blind playthrough, but it's impossible to avoid some of the gaming culture stuff surrounding Skyrim. And I've definitely heard people joke that at some point you are the Archmage. And people are asking, have you heard of the College of Winterhold? Have you heard of spells?
He was an apprentice here at the college. Not very skilled, but got involved with a group of mages who took a liking to him. When they left, he took off after them. Stole supplies and books from the college. I suppose as a way to ingratiate himself.
You get that in a lot of video games, though. Like, you'll see, like, the NPC asked if you've ever used a sword before, and you cut to the player character that's in this, like, badass Sauron armor.
You there. I have questions for you. You were in Saarthal, yes? It has come to my attention that something was found there.
Maybe.
I know full well that you have. Please do not insult my intelligence. Tolfdir is still there now, is he? I shall expect a full report when he returns. Something was discovered in Sarthal that was
I know, right?
enough that
I was confused because she told me that he wanted to talk to me, and I went to go talk to him, and my only new dialogue option was calling him out as a spy. I'm like, okay, I guess that quest died. But I guess what they wanted to happen is to have him come intercept me here after talking to the quest guy. Alright.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
I think your face is due for a change. Alright. Find the stolen books. Probably here. Maybe not. Find the stolen books. All will keep. Oops. Oh, I haven't discovered it yet. Sweet. That's exciting. Discovered a thing that's like right across from it though, so that's easier. I remember this place. I had to reload a bunch of times here against a group of bandits.
You picked a bad time to get lost.
Hey! Glad you guys got your operation back off the ground after I murdered all of you. Ship of Theseus, right?
Yeah.
Picked a bad time to spawn in. Oh yeah, I should. Good call. Flames is already pretty expensive mana-wise. Alright, that's pretty good damage to use it differently. More like a traditional projectile. I assume it travels further as well, right? That's cool. Fireball was more expensive, so it might be better. There's only one college.
Mind yourself with that fire. Don't burn anything down now.
Need something?
I'm glad you're a friendly bandit. Okay, so like if I go on the fire path, you know, they might do more raw DPS, but the behavior is always going to be different, so I'm never going to get like a Flames 2 that is a channeled flame spell that's exactly the same as Flames 1, it just does more damage. The way Flames does more damage is by skilling up and leveling up. Or rather, just skilling up, I guess. I don't think level affects your damage at all, right? Level is just like an abstract representation of how many perks you've bought and how many increases you've made to magicka, stamina, and health. Alright. Chill out. I don't know why you two guys are friendly and the other guys are not.
No rough stuff. Just take it and go.
Yes.
Don't sound like much fun.
You guys are just talking to themselves. Alright. Leave them be. Oh, you can make a flames just whatever power you wanted. Interesting. Can I Mako my way over there? Greatest, most broken, and most broken thing. It's a cool idea. I can do this! I can Skyrim it! No! I should see why it's pointing me over there before I go nuts trying to do this here. it is over this ridge. Spell characteristics are comparable across it. I see. We're just talking about like the core mechanic of is it a held channeled spell or is it firing a ball or is it a chain? Oh, I think that this isn't climbable because there's an invisible wall here. Not just because of geometry. Okay, I guess I'll go around like a caveman. Wait, what am I walking on right now? I'm a real billy goat over here. Second's a projectile, the third's an AoE. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Everything's fine, nothing's ruined. I thought I was stuck. Oh, come on, the other thing was way less steep than this. Are you serious? If you see it, you can go there. Sort of. This is my god invented roads. Levitate will let you get past something like this. Oh my god. How am I even alive still? I fell as soon as I asked that. Oh, I had a nice little platform there. Hey! It was worth it. Value. Lydia, I don't know how you're up here, but I'm not gonna question it. You know, you do you. This is exactly where I need to be, too. Glow keep pipe. I'll make an extra save slot just in case. I really like Breath of the Wild. They must have gone to significant lengths in order to make that possible and have the game not fall apart in the process. So can I not dual cast Fireball, it looks like? Oh wow, that is really Magicka expensive. Question is if it's more efficient or not. Lightning drains Magicka, right? Are there any spells in the game that can't be dual casts? Thanks, Lydia. I think Firebolt is the one that I like the best of the ones I've seen so far. What robes do I have on right now? My kingdom for like equipment, like what I currently have on screen. The way it tells you what you have on is just, it's jank. Blue mage robes. Not blue mage robes, blue mage robes. Pretty cool. See why that's stupid expensive. It's a 3rd level ice spell. I'm gonna try using Firebolt for a while. It seems like I have enough mana to be able to afford it right now. Now, where can I see the spell? Oh, level apprentice, adept. Right, so I should check my skills to see if I even have the discounts for those levels, because if I don't, I shouldn't be messing with them yet. Okay, so I should wait to switch to those until I can pick up the perk that makes them cheap, because I definitely don't have that yet. Okay. That'll be useful in the future, though. Oh, is apprentice higher than novice?
Oh.
What's that? Okay, so I can use Firebolt. What about my other elements here? Oops. Firebolt and Lightning Bolt. Basically the bolts. And I think I must have either not bought or she didn't have the apprentice ice spell. Okay, cool.
Huh? What is it? The tests. Go, my friend. Attack!
I managed to shoot it right between the two of them. Sorry, Lydia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does Word completely block my spells? No. Oh shit. I want that Frostbolt. Okay, got it. I gotta get used to having to aim. Lightning bolts instead.
What is it? Go, my friend. Attack!
Does it target the cursor? I keep wanting it to target where the hand is. You don't have any mana. It's always the cursor. Okay. Daedra and Daedra. There's Ancestor, not our Ancestor. That's cool. The lore in this setting is pretty awesome. Clearly been thinking about it for a long time. Is there like a lore master for these games? Like a gatekeeper that decides what can go in and what can go out? It seems really consistent. Story doesn't feel like there's 50 different people writing it, even though that's totally what's happening. Bolt is the highest level spell that I can use at a discount. I don't have enough magicka to use anything higher than that. Batch. That's cool. I feel like that's the right way to do it, to have a lore gatekeeper. Yeah. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Look in the basket. It's not her fault. She literally can't look down. Hey, Orichalcum. Everybody's favorite fantasy metal that's not mithril. Offload junk. Can followers hold unlimited items? Lydia?
Oh.
Why does she even have collision in the first place? Hello, hello.
Someone there.
I do have Fireball, but it's too high level for it to be economical for me to cast. I'm taking a lot of damage from my attacks, though. Should try doing this spell shield thing. It's a good strategy. Good job, Lydia. Sorry. Okay. Hi, Ben. I know you're very hungry. You're gonna have to wait. Oh, it's a vampire. Hi.
Out of the way, meat. Out of the way, meat.
I just opened your door. Not gonna, like, tell me your deal? What your name is and what your history is and... You suck. Also a follower killer. Yeah, that sounds fun. It's like being a stealth archer. Lydia, you're the worst. What's happening here? Oh, I think I killed the ones that were helping me. Yeah, it was a lot of damage. It'd be fun to do that from stealth. Do you get any bonus from stealth? I think I just killed it, the vampire. Oh man. I don't know what I said, but yeah, I meant a sneak bonus. Whoops, so much for that plan. Lydia, why are you the way that you choose to be? What are they doing in here? You just blink out of the way. God, I've gotten screwed by invisible geometry a couple times there. There we go. First try. Master Vampire. Vampire Dust. It's kind of cool. So I like how they establish that they're doing vampire experiments in here. Do I need perks in order to get a damage boost from being stealthed? And that'll apply even if I'm using magic? If the old adage is true that everyone ends up playing a stealth archer, I don't mind if I'm still a stealth archer, I just happen to use a fireball instead of an arrow. I need to get... I keep saying it every session, but I really gotta get that mod that lets me see books that are worth picking up. I'm mostly just letting you out so I can get lockpicking XP. I'll be real with you. Seriously? Kinda just dealing with it right now, Lydia. Do you not like vampires? Okay. I don't know if this is the right way to think about lockpicking, but...
Thought I heard something.
Comes Lydia again. Murderer. Not even defending herself. Jesus. You gotta chill, Lydia. The way I think about lockpicking is that like there's a number between 0 and 100, and moving the pick all the way to the left is 0, all the way to the right is 100. The correct answer is some arbitrary number between those two values, and your lockpicking skill allows you to be more wrong on your guess. So if you have really high lockpicking skill and a really easy lock, you know, you can be plus or minus 50 from the correct answer, but if it's a really tough lock, you have to be at the exact number. About the Arconian Blade. Hey, thanks. Okay. Yellow Book of Riddles. No kidding, DPs. Just standing there chilling in her cell, and Lydia's like, oh my god, I have to kill it. She didn't attack the first one, which is interesting. It was only after I murdered one on accident. Okay, I think I have to pay for perks to get sneak attack.
Please let me out of here.
Hey, it's that Orthorn guy I was looking for. If you want to suggest things for me to do, you can type !hide before your message, and then I won't be able to see it. And if you guys agree that it's something everyone wants to share, you can go ahead and type it in the main chat. Fire's key. So there's a switch puzzle as well. And by puzzle, I mean...
Oh, you've saved me. Thank you so much. Who knows what they'd have done to me if you hadn't come along. I promise I'll help you get out of here.
Where are the books?
The books? Oh, I see. I thought perhaps... Well, I thought you'd come for me. But
you need
yes,
mods you to sneak attack bonus off spells?
She was most interested in one of the volumes.
I like that combination.
Although not interested enough to keep me from being locked up.
Definitely seems like an oversight.
Don't you need my help? I shall do my best.
Just don't get yourself killed. So can he and Lydia follow me at the same time? I feel like that's going to get, especially with everybody having collision, it's going to get ugly fast. It's the puzzle. I know, right? Hooray! Leave a trail of naked people in my wake since I loot everything.
Be careful.
Stairs, maybe?
Why did I ever come here? Uh-huh.
Almost thought that was just a wall, not a door. I need to get that light spell. I might look up what town I can find it in. It would be really convenient. Let me just make sure I don't happen to already have it. So it would be illusion? Yeah, I don't. There's a lot of literally flavorful spells in this game that I imagine are too hard to make work with the way the combat is set up.
And begin.
Lydia, get out in front of me. Ugh, that sucks. Oh shit. You guys got this, right? Frenzy spells broken in Morrowind. You can use it to freely murder anyone because they attacked you first. Interesting. Is Morrowind not protected from accidentally killing quest mobs? I assume this one is. There are some characters you can't just kill. Everything's broken in. Legend of Red Eagle. There are no invulnerable NPCs. Find Red Eagle's sword. No, that's cool. Rando book. So I need to pick up and collect every book in the game. It's cute. They were practicing on target dummies. A little shooting gallery. It's very silly. So if I give a torch to Lydia...
I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Oh, Lydia. If I give her a torch, she will use it?
You lead, I'll follow.
Do I have to not have one equipped myself, I guess? Weird. Oh well. I thought I could take all these. Oh, I have to open them and then take. Okay. I should just take every book. Chance it has a quest in it or gives me skills. Brief History of the Empire, Volume 4. Yeah. I feel like if I were to install a mod, that would be one I would install. I mean, that like highlights skill books or quest books.
Huh?
Must be nighttime hours. Interesting. I feel like I only really need it in a dungeon. Boys tunic, girl's dress, paper. That's weird. Storytelling with trash loot. I do really like that.
Necromancers, be careful. I've got to get out of here.
Oh, it completely undoes my magic damage. I guess most of the enemies in the game I'm fighting aren't mages, and I've got Lydia to fight them in the meantime. Skeleton was just getting out of bed. Sorry, dude. Oh, skill books are obvious by their cost. Interesting. But I can't see a skill book on a shelf, right? I can't like hover over something and see what the cost is. $75% faster. That's better than what I currently have. So I'm gonna wear the necromancer robes. Find a dungeon, come back days later. I think I had a necromancer robe much earlier in this playthrough. I sold it by accident or trashed it by accident. Spelltome Ray Zombie. Let's go. Skill books have a symbol? Oh, okay. That's helpful. I already know Ray Zombie. Now, can I see that on the book's binding, like on the side of it, or is that on the cover? I'm worried about the ones that give me, like, increased lockpicking stats. I feel like it's almost certain that I've missed some already. Just in this session today.
Still here.
You need a mod to know the skill books, or just know what the names of them are? Cost name, let's see. I'd even take that as either a mod or a spell, even. Just something that makes the value of items above a certain threshold that I set float above the items in the real world. Be a nice shortcut to figure out if something's worth picking up or not. Is that a ghost wolf? Yo! I thought the ghost wolf still, like, cried like a real wolf would have died. Alright. Doing some kind of cool ritual here. See, I really like this. This is using loot to tell a story, the way they have the gems laid out there. I just wish I couldn't pick them up. I'm in trouble getting fireball for launch sometimes. Is that a bad one? No, I couldn't tell. It's the exact same as my allies. Dick to ghost wolves. Well, I have to hover over it to see the name, right? It'll say, like, his. You can tell that it's killing. Oh, that's why I felt like I was charging a spell and then couldn't launch it. It was because the enemy hit me with some disrupting shock or something. Staff of Flames. I don't like first-person for non-shooter games, especially games that have any sort of melee component. But it seems like this game was not designed to be played in third person. It's already a little janky in first. So I'm only playing in first because it appears to be the way the game was designed. Third was an afterthought. But if you had a game, if they could make a version of Skyrim that was designed for third person, I would play that all day. Shit. Do I get any benefit to hitting their shield if they have one of those spell shields up? Does it, like, do I still drain their magicka, or... It looks like it just completely misses. Turn this on, because I can't miss with it if you do the shield up. You tried to punch me. The person in towns. Get all this trouble to make your character and you can never see him and get it. Still. Blocks all damage. Attacks until it breaks. That seems to be the case. Workbench. How do I mess with this? Oh, this is just like blacksmithing. Armor smith. Because I can switch here. I feel like it's still technically first person. I just have my character obscuring part of the view. Alright, shit. I think I had another one of those that I sold. Right. Part of the food boot and stuff. It's interesting that there's a dungeon that the enemies in here pretty hard counter a magic build. And this is for the quest that you'd presumably do if you were trying to play as a mage. Maybe I have other tools to deal with it. Is there like a disrupt, like a dispel ability that I could turn off their word shield? I also just have a Lydia with me. That seems to be working fine. Alright, so that has a symbol on it. So, and that's the destruction skill. So not all skill books have that symbol on the front, I guess? I'm only level 16. I thought I was level 20. So maybe the endgame zone was level 20, and that's part of what was getting me trouble. You know it. 47 destruction. There's 30. 60. Try to save up for that. Then I can use Fireball. Be quite nice. So when it says disintegrates targets if their health is low, does that mean that it finishes killing them early, basically? Without having to actually drain the remaining hit points? I guess that's why they teach me the word spell before I come in here. I could put it on my quick cast. I'm surprised it works the way it does. It's a restoration, right? So it does negate a certain amount of spell damage, so I could overwhelm their spell. That's what I was confused about. I'm like, is Lesser Word just a busted shield that blocks all damage no matter what? And doesn't scale with your level or your points into restoration? That is not the case. Should put it on my favorites too. Oh, you can accidentally disintegrate it. Oh, like an NPC that you're supposed to reduce to a certain health and then it triggers them to talk to you? That's interesting.
Still here.
Wait, did he die?
Let's get going then.
Son of a bitch. Was he scripted to die, or did I accidentally let him die? I remember being in this hallway, because this is where I wasn't sure. Son of a bitch. Yeah, you should let me know if I have, especially if, like, Lydia ever dies. I can't tell when it happens. There's very little fanfare. How far back was my manual save? So far. Did I need him alive for anything? I really dislike that mechanic. If he doesn't, I'm not going to worry about it. But I'd just like to know if he matters or not. He doesn't? Okay, thank you. Thank you. I see enough breaks eventually. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't need to, like, bring him back to the college or something. They only work on magic damage though, right? I like that you can fire through them. I didn't realize that when I first picked up the ability. Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. I'm conditioned to think that if I have an NPC following me, that it could be a bad thing if they die randomly, especially if it's preventable. That, like, they'll give me something special if they make it out of the dungeon alive, they'll be in your quest line, they'll be a permanent follower companion. Like, the game doesn't really present followers and stuff. Like, Lydia behaves almost identically to that rando that didn't matter, right? And Lydia is a super important follower character.
What's the hurry?
I guess she never matters in the story, right? He leaves after this dungeon is over. Okay, so it's effectively the same as him dying. Told me to stay and then she disappeared. Ugh, that stresses me out. It's one of those where, like, I'd rather they have no follower party member system at all. I guess you could argue it's immersion breaking to, like, have a follower page, right, that says, here's Lydia, this is her current health, this is what's in her inventory, here are her motivations, here's the last thing you talked to her about, you know. Have something in the UI to underscore how she works. barge from the other side. Backtracking now. See if I can follow the quest marker. Oh, I can get that Khajiit dude as a follower. That's cool. Doesn't seem like the most important room.
Oh.
Right. That seems like the right way to play these games. Is there an R in it? I thought it was Khajiit. Khajiit. Or Khajiit. Now, where's the R sound? Huh. That really seems to suggest I have to go in that room, but I don't see anything in there. I will accept a tip if someone knows where I should be going. If I'm missing a key, Khajiit says, as the R is. Is it a passageway? Can't get in that door. This goes back where I came. Oh, really? No, I'm pretty sure this is the way I came, but I'll double check. You might be right. Guess you're right. My bad. Thanks. Oh, hi, friend. Oh, does chain lightning damage your follower? I guess there's no reason why it would know not to damage your follower. I just thought it would be enemies only. Hey, there's the key. Frostbite. I guess that's my existing ice spell. Is that not this one? I need Frostbolt. Ben, please don't knock the monitor over. I beg you. Thanks for the help, Breaker. I don't know why I thought that was forward. I must have gotten in there and then gotten turned around. Shrine of Julianos. Okay. Can see that under active effects. Increase magic by 25 points for 7 hours. It's weird. Okay. Oh, do most of the followers have a level cap? That's interesting. Is chest loot procedurally generated or is it authored? I know that the individual rooms are clearly authored. Great care went into placing all the art objects in these areas. The caps of 50. Interesting. Is the Jazargo guy the only follower in the game that doesn't cap? Is it like a glitch or something?
What's the hurry?
Oh, it's leveled up based on your level. Okay. Scaling approach is really interesting. I'm seeing more and more games take it now. I think it's a double-edged sword.
You barged into my home and laid waste to my projects.
I did.
How nice
That's me.
to meet you.
Who are you?
Names no longer matter. You may refer to me as the Caller. Now, do you have a reason for making such a mess?
World of Warcraft has this really interesting issue right now where the entire game scales to you all the time. When you level up, the enemies all level up. And it's not that you're scaled to content, which is how Final Fantasy XIV does it. The world actually scales. So if your eye level goes up, enemies will actually have more health and do more damage if you're wearing better gear. And like if you're fighting an enemy and another person shows up to help you fight them, you'll see their health go up. It's super weird. It means that all the content is relevant all the time. You never walk in and one-shot anything, but it makes it really hard to predict how the game is going to work, you know? Like, I know if I play Mario Brothers that if I jump on a Goomba's head, it's going to die in one hit. And if I jump on a Koopa's head, it's going to take 2 hits.
So you're just one of Arin's lackeys. That's disappointing. You show real promise. You come here, kill my assistants, disrupt my work. You've annoyed me, so I don't think I'll be giving you anything.
Okay.
I'm afraid you don't have anything worth trading. Now, you can go back to your college and leave me be, or I can kill you.
Let's go with the kill me.
Are you attempting to threaten me after I've been so hospitable? Well, then you won't be leaving here at all.
Oh, shit. Alright guys, it's all you. I gotta spend my mana healing. So I can do this and then this. Try equipping the other ward, maybe? This one seems too weak. Oh, shit. Nope, that one still sucks. She teleport around, doesn't she? Interesting, she doesn't really use a shield. Like everyone else in her dungeon. Good job, Lydia. Break into some super dangerous places and get huge returns. Makes it hard to feel like you're progressing. Yeah, in fact, the situation in World of Warcraft right now is that you almost always actually get weaker when you level up or get new gear. Because the enemies will scale assuming that you're fully geared when you get a level up, and you're not actually going to be fully geared, and probably won't be for the entirety of your level window. Now, I've argued before that I feel like experience points and leveling up, a lot of it is arbitrary. There's so hungry. So hungry. I think gaining XP is interesting when it creates player choice and lets you learn new abilities. It works as like a gating mechanic. But when you're trying to balance your game very carefully so that, you know, it always takes, in a turn-based game, 5 turns to kill the enemy, it starts to feel sillier and sillier to even have experience points in the first place and level ups in the first place. Like, if you wanted to take 5 turns of normal attacks to kill an enemy no matter what, then just make that the case, you know? Make the Super Mario Brothers boss, you jump on its head 3 times and it dies. Yeah. Well, most of that choice is false. You know, you have somebody 3 talents to choose from. There's almost always going to be one that's obviously correct. But by choice, I mostly just mean, like, giving you new abilities. I don't think you should ever gain levels just for the sake of the math. Put it very briefly, like, if I gain a level and nothing has changed about my character's capabilities, if I can't, you know, all the actions I can take are identical, the only difference is that now I do 2 more points of damage and I take 2 fewer points of damage, but the enemies are scaled up so that they take 2 fewer points of damage and deal 2 fewer points of damage. It's like, what's the point? You know, let's see. Player choice is the co-opted phrase to justify loot boxes and microtransactions. Oh, I haven't really run into that too much. No, I do like that the dungeons are set up so that they loop back in on themselves, so you always have a way immediately out when you finish. That's smart. No. I think that there are numerical tweaks that that are interesting. Like, jump height is interesting, because it affects where you can go. The hell is this? Why are you playing music? Calm down, game. It's fine. Chill out. Why are we chanting? What are we chanting about? Oh, there's a dragon. Okay. Is that there's a dragon? Is that what that song means? Okay. It's fucking gay. Yeah, that's quite a bit more damage than my sparks were doing before, if you recall. Getting the higher level magic. They can just spawn whenever. I guess it's to make sure that you get a decent flow of souls. So, I've said this a million times, but I'm a big fan of the game that does not cut away from player control to show a cutscene, right? Like, I think cutscenes are lame, and when the developer feels like they need to show you the cool thing by cutting away to it, it's a little on the nose. But every time something like that's happened in this game, I've just been confused. Like, I haven't had the sense of awesome. I've just been like, why is there chanting? Why are people walking into the... Oh, there's a dragon. Okay, well, that's cool, I guess. I don't know how else you would convey it. It feels off or not polished in Skyrim. That might help. Yeah, I could go with that. Instead of them just all wandering around like they're slightly confused.
Good to see Skyrim still has such fine people. It's always encouraging to see the younger generations embracing education.
NPCs ducking for cover, the screen rumbling. Yeah. Loud wing beating sounds. Yeah. Yeah, it just feels like, what the fuck is even happening? Like, I think you nailed it.
Well, yes. This is rather embarrassing, but it seems I've misplaced something. I can't find my alembic. I suppose I could use another one, but...
I guess the problem is it's a random dragon, right? So it would be difficult to set all of the scripting for that to work.
Bringing it to me? My alembic. I need it for some research and can't seem to find it.
Even with the college's laid-back attitude, there are still some things that are... There are some experiments...
Oh wow, Aki. That's scary.
If they're aware of them, of course.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
Even the red dot, though, like, I feel like the feeling of, oh my god, there's a dragon that's just suddenly attacking the area I'm in, that should be exciting. It shouldn't really ever provoke bored confusion. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be... In Dark Souls, you can do something like you round a corner and the dragon flies in and there's fire everywhere and you can't miss it. But I think that having the screen shake effect and the loud wing flapping noise and people running and screaming and pointing in the sky, like, something that lets you know the gravity of this. This is like a mud crab that snuck into the College of Winterhold, right? Console will vibrate. That's cool.
Hundreds of years have gone into assembling this collection. It's... Well, well. And you seem to be in one piece.
I am.
Thank you. I'll look these over and inform Mirabelle if I find anything relevant.
They make noise. They don't just fly silently in the air.
I remember
you can usually hear the dragon roar.
Well,
okay.
Isn't that interesting? Did you read it yourself? If I recall it correctly, that has some interesting implications. You should mention that to Toldir.
I see. That's helpful.
And here. I suppose you've earned these.
Racial? Oh wait, these are more books that he just gave.
Until...
That was a skill book? Oh my god. He just gave me a bunch of skill books. It looks like they all have the symbol on them. So I think Kevin was right. Mudcrab versus Dragon Randomways character. You force the mudcrab to land. That's cool. That's a neat reward for that quest.
Next time.
Just look at the value in my list here. So it's like 50 plus. Oh, yeah, I guess that one doesn't. See that being a good thing to mod. Alright, let's head down to 12 Deer.
I think the college is due for a change in leadership.
We actually went over a little on time last time in the Alduin fight, so
clean up after yourself.
I'm gonna wrap here because that hits us at 20 hours on the dot.
Need your help.
And future Marstead, you were doing the College of Winterhold quests. You were at the end game. You could go and fight the final boss whenever you feel like it, but you probably have to level up a little bit more to at least do a reasonable amount of damage over there. Probably finish this quest chain, maybe do 1 or 2 more quest chains, and then go beat the game. Cool. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I'll let you know what's